Dum, dum, dum. All the things she said were running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. All the things she said were running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. This is not Star Wars. This is not Star Wars. Hello, man babies. A little bit of tattoo for you there. A little bit of our favorite lesbian duo, which seems fitting for tonight. We are here to do episode 3 of the Acolytes. Now, I know not all of you watch it. You're about to experience it through our mind's eye. But for those who did watch it, I hope you appreciated the absolute genius of Leslie Headland and what I consider the finest piece of Star Wars work since, 2017's Last Jedi. But anyway, I could go on all night, but I can't do it on my own. So while I'm still partially sober, I am already 3 rum and cokes in. Let's bring out the retrobates, and we've got arguably the finest panel assembled on YouTube anywhere on the planet. And first up, from the deepest, darkest depth of cold Scotland. They're freezing the tits off there. It's June, but that's why he's hard. The man of 1,000 voices. It is not Brian Young. Hello, Brian. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's been booted already. No, he's back. Here we go. Hello, Brian.
Hey, evening, Rune. Evening, chat. How are we?
Good. Brownie, I'll let you bring the guests. I think we both double clicked. We just yeah, we're like 2 forced lesbian twins, aren't we, Brown? Brian, wow, what a day. I mean, I watched it twice because I didn't quite believe what I watched the first time. Can I get your thoughts in the style of a coked up Steele Saunders?
Oh, Jesus Christ, what a shit show that was.
We've got some work cut out tonight, haven't we, Brian?
We have indeed. It's going to be. It could be quite the chore, depending on how we advance the slides this evening.
Well, we'll keep it rolling. Don't worry. Okay, should we see one of the retrobates we've got oiled up in the green room?
Yes, let's get to it.
Let's see what lesbian witches we've got lurking out back. Okay, from a biscuit factory somewhere in Leicester, he is the man with the gravelly voice. He is our very own Darth Palpatine. It's Swappers. How are you doing, Swappers?
Well, busy cooking as usual, Ruin. Creating some delectable delights based on Star Wars' latest catastrophe.
Oh, I'm interested to know what have you been concocting there, Swappers? Do regale us.
Well, originally it was due to your personal influence, but we can extend it to Lucasfilm's latest entry, I do believe. Behold, the Ruins Miniature Johnsons, the epitome of temptation, glistening with moist promise. Their delectable appearance lures you in with visions of indulgence. But beware, for when you succumb to their allure and take that fateful bite, you'll uncover a treacherous secret, a hollow, unfulfilling interior with a distinct fecal aftertaste that shall divide your dinner guests and ignite a heated debate, transforming old friends into bitter enemies. The lingering sorrow they bestow upon your soul will last for years, ensuring you never have to cook for anyone again. Your once delighted guests shall never return. Yes, my dear friends, Ruins Miniature Johnsons will give you an exceedingly deep depression and leave you muttering, "For fuck's sake."
Oh, you've outdone yourself, Swappers. I'll have 500,000 crates of those if you would, sir. Always interesting because we have 192 goddamn man babies in the chat, which is fantastic. Those people who are joining for the first time must be thinking, what the fuck's going on? We've got someone pretending to be Ryan Johnson with an English accent. We've got some Scottish guy who's a rip-off of some weirdo shill, and we've got someone with a Palpatine voice and a Jimmy Savile face. It's all very bizarre, but hey, if you think it's weird, it's about to get a lot weirder, because look at what we dug up from down under. Here he is the man we like to call Echo Chamberlain. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, very well. That tattoo song choice was a stroke of genius. That was
Oh, you like that, did you, Echo? Did it
very
take you
much
back to the mid-90s? Was it the
Sort of,
mid-90s?
a little bit, yeah. No, but that was very well done. Almost as good, in fact, way better than my the song that I had, the ABBA that you did on the last stream. So very appreciative.
Yeah. Well, if you liked it, I did a Ruin Johnson cut of the one particular scene from tonight's Acolyte, and I put the tattoo dance track over the top. So if you like that, then do check out what I posted on Twitter this week, which I seem to have rattled some cages. I've had unusually busy week on Twitter in the DMs, just the 3 death threats so far, so it's going well. People take it so seriously, don't they? Echo, give me your. We're obviously going to spend some time on this goddamn episode, but give me your thoughts in 7 words, no more, no less. That's not classed as one.
Cesspool, identity politics ridden Z-grade fanfic.
Oh wow. That's literally word for word my IMDb review of this episode. You fantastic, well done. Okay, brilliant. Okay, well look, we will give you more than 7 words as we go tonight, but we do have more lurkers in the green room. Should we see who else we've got out there?
Go on.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, well look, people said we couldn't get him on for episode 1. After that, they said there's no way he'll come back for episode 2. And then after episode 2, and we all heard how much he disliked episode 2, they all said there is more chance of Joe Biden's son going straight than there is getting Mega Geek onto this stream. Well, you can stick that as far up your arse as a Liam Neeson dong. It's Mega Geek, everybody's back. Hello, Mega Geek.
Hello.
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 The catchphrase rolling in. Mega, when you depart this earth in many centuries time, well, I want to say that you are Yoda. Can you just have "it's shit" on your tombstone? I just think it would be so prophetic and fitting.
I think I will actually. I'll have that. It's I'm dying. It's shit. On the tombstone.
It's universally applicable, isn't it? But I really I'm so interested to see what you made of this episode, but we can't we can't get too excited rightfully off. But just one word, Mega Geek, just one word. Give me one word.
Shit. That's what it was. Totally.
I say it, you say shit. Okay, folks.
So on brand.
Yeah. A pile of, put it that way.
You can get the It Shit t-shirts on TeeRepublic/the Mega Geek, everybody. And they're all going there now, Mega Geek, even though it doesn't exist. So, Mr. Brown, before you all think he's died and gone to heaven, he's not. He's just in the background doing the tinkering. He might pop on at some point to interrupt Brian. So Brownie is with us. Don't worry, Ruin hasn't completely taken over the channel, but we do have one more. There is another.
Always another.
So, who could it be? Well, Drinker wants to come on. We said no. We've only got room for one Scot. People struggle to understand him as it is. Also, Doomcock wants to come on, but we said no. We've already got someone with a silly mask on, which is me. Also, who's the other guy who wants to come on, Brian? Nerdrotic wants to come on, didn't he?
Yeah.
But we said no. We've already got someone with a silly beard. That's Brian. But then we had someone say, "Have you got any room for a young posh twink?" And we said, "Get your arse in here. It's little Platoon, everybody."
Hello.
Hello, Ploots. How you doing, my friend?
I am all right, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm very well. I'm lubricated, but you know, it's the only way we're going to get through this. It's
You have to lube up before
therapy.
you scissor, otherwise you get friction burns. I'm
Oh.
disappointed that there was no Scissor Sisters in the introduction. I thought of all the weeks for the Scissor Sisters to come out of retirement, it would be this one.
Hmm.
Well, there you go, chat. If you can rustle up some Scissor Sister lyrics and fashion them into an Acolyte song, then I'm sure we can do something with that at some point. So I believe this is our team, unless there's anyone else. Brown's decided to sling into. No, we're all good. Great. Okay. Legal bits. Apparently, if you have any complaints about the show, send them to Mr. Brown, 15 Church Street, Leeds LS1 5PW. Put it second class post, save yourself a few pennies. Also, don't forget to unsubscribe to the channel, because apparently when you do that, it works in reverse, so it doubles the numbers, and then you just forward data to resubscribe later on. It all works out, trust me on that one. Like, comment, take your Liam Neeson dong out, do the old aeroplane. Come on, we're celebrating tonight. I think that's everything. I'm sure. Have I missed anything, Brian? Is there anything Brown would normally do?
Interrupt me, apart from that.
Well, there's still time. Okay. Well, other than that, I think it's recap time now. Who do we have a resident recapper? I'm leaning
Yes.
towards. We do.
Well, I'm the sub vice
you're
captain
the-
of the.
you
It's
are.
usually Z's remit, but I'm stepping in because
Yes.
he's currently suffering from COVID for the second week running.
Still suffering from COVID. Oh well, we wish Z well. I did see him pop up in the chat. Z, we're missing you terribly. Please get that COVID out your system if you could kindly. Brian, take it away, sir.
Fresh from ending Trinity's Disney contract early, Darkseid assassin May sneaks into the Jedi outlet store on Olego to pull on Torben's hairpiece and change his slop bucket. Mechneck wizard Osha flashes some cleavage on the second coldest planet on the galaxy, while Squid Game and #1 Star Wars fan Charlie Bennett discuss her evil sister May. After being sent to investigate the second assassination attempt, our heroes watch jealously as bad writing Coal Mine Canary and Game of Thrones King Tommen, Dean Charles Chapman, wisely offs himself in another shark-jumping IP. Later, the Jedi secure a confession from May's associate Timu Ezra Miller after threatening him with the voracious appetite of mortally obese Padawan Coles Terral. Squid Game and the Diversity Posse confront May, only to lose her to a dust cloud and some shooting that would make the Scotland national team blush. Meanwhile, nude Force enthusiast and part-time Bigfoot impersonator Kel Naka is oblivious to the peril his hairy man bun finds itself in. 2 Jedi down, 2 to go.
Oh, always 2 that are. Well done, Brian. Thank you for that. Right, we're off, folks. It's a legendary day in Star Wars. I do think we've peaked in terms of the fine art Disney have given us. So we let's get through the logos and we go straight to this first planet. It's not Acto, it's Brendok. Does anyone know
This
anything
is
about
the best bit of the episode, by the way. This shot here is the best the episode gets in total because it looks really nice.
Mhm.
And then the episode starts.
And we're not looking at CGI or matte paintings, are we, Mega Geek? This is genuine
Isn't this
footage
Ireland?
here.
Is it Ireland?
Is it Isle? Looks
Where
like
did they shoot that? I don't know. Sorry,
Craggy
sorry.
Isle.
I've killed the stream.
You've posed a question we can't answer, but
All
it's very, very green and pleasant, and yeah. I mean, it's a bit Acto, actually, isn't it? Which was shot in Ireland. So, Brendok, anyway. 16. Well, look, straight away, we're going back 16 years. So, this is interesting. We're only 2 episodes in. And I believe, someone correct me, because I was drinking very early today. the whole episode stays back 16 years ago, doesn't it? We are an entire
Yes,
episode in the
does.
past.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
There's a Rick and Morty episode where like they have to go and they try and convince this writer who keeps a lighthouse to let them put a little beacon on top of his lighthouse, and he wants to read them the script, sort of like payment. That's the only thing they have to do is Morty has to listen to his script, and it starts off and it's really cliched and boring, but he thinks like, okay, I can sit through this, and he says title 3 weeks earlier. And then you realize, oh fuck, that was just the prologue, and it was still shit. It's basically what's happened here. Everything we've just seen is the thing where they thought, well, this bit's too boring to begin with, so we'll start with the thing we consider more exciting, and that was shit. And now we're going 16 years earlier to find out why the fuck they made this show, and it's astounding. It's really, really fucking hilarious. It's one of my favorite episodes of TV if you judge it as a comedy.
Yeah, we've gone from such exciting locations as 10 minutes in a bar, and then 10 minutes on a space freighter, and then 10 minutes in a Jedi training room, and then 10 minutes on a prison ship, to an entire episode in a boring planet. So we're doing really great with the locations and settings.
This entire episode could possibly have been summed up in just a couple of flashback scenes. And
It could, yeah. Good shout, Brian. But look, we got the genius of Leslie Headland's inner, most darkest, deepest secrets mind. But look, before we get into all that, I have forgotten something, and the man babies in the chats are reminding me of it. Drinking game. I mean, I'm probably forgetting because I'm already half cut. But we do need to establish the rules of drinking game. This could be the final death knell for some people's livers, but let's do it anyway. Platoon, what would you like to set up as the cue for a drink tonight?
I think my rule for the game tonight is drink.
Just drink.
Just that.
Just drink
I
and don't stop.
Yeah, if we need a specific one, I guess I drink every time there's some fucking unnecessary hackneyed exposition, or every time the Jedi tell a lie, which completely backfires because it's really obvious. But I'm just going to be drinking because this episode is, you'll see.
Okay, fair enough. Brian, anything more specific, or just basically get on the iron brew and drink yourself into a drunken stupor?
Well, I did have drink every time there's a line of redundant dialogue, but I think Plutz has pretty much covered that. So I'm going to go for, just especially for the chat, drink every time the panel confuse OSHA with May.
Oh, could happen. That will obviously make us instantly racist if that was to happen, but we'll do our best to avoid that, Brian. Well, thank you very much. Lord Kipling, what would you like to introduce?
All I can think of is every time Leslie Headland contradicts her own writing.
Oh, that's deep. You'll have to keep us honest there. Okay. Echo, what's your submission?
It's quite specific.
We like specific. Okay.
Every time Brian makes a mordantly scathing and curmudgeonly remark in a subdued and resigned Scottish accent, which is interrupted 3/4 in by cross-chatter, prompting him in an irked tone to raise his voice and say, "Welcome to interrupting on the Brown Alliance."
Oh, dear God, Echo, your liver is going to take some punishment this evening.
And for all the new man babies joining us tonight, if you don't understand half what we're talking about, A, it's because we're pissed, B, it's because it's the fucking Acolyte, and C, it's because we have developed some deep lore on the Brown channel, but I'm sure all the fellow man babies in the chat will keep you updated. Mega Geek, what would you like to introduce for the drinking game?
I think every time you see that really horrible wig on Squid Game, that's when you take a drink. There you go.
Yes, he has got a nice little Beatles cut tonight, hasn't he? Okay, I'll just say drink whenever a lesbian witch flails her arms in the air. I think that's worth a shot.
Can I ask a question? The
Go
two
on, Megan.
girls that played the young May and whatever the other girl's name is, are they twins in real life? Because they don't look identical to each other at all.
They really don't at all. I mean, like, because when they use the older versions, it's the same actress playing both parts. And I think here that they've gone for two actresses in the hopes that maybe one of them can act, but neither of them can.
But the evil one is slightly not as good looking as the good one, if you know what I mean. Her nose is slightly bigger than the other one because they're not identical. I thought it was a visual effect. I thought one actress was playing both of them, but I realized that they're not twins at all. Or maybe in real life they are. I don't know.
So
There were at
one's a
least
bit-
3 landmines in that statement.
I know.
Yeah. I was just going to clarify. When you say one's a bit uglier or something. I mean,
Yeah,
which one do you,
one's not as good at looking as the other. In other words,
which one do you
slightly-
fancy most? Is it this one, Mega, or
Don't put
Nolan, Nolan.
no
Oh,
one.
it's-
No, so I'm just saying that on one
Behave.
they look very different, don't they? I think anyway. So anyway. They're not twins, are they? Somebody find that out in the chat for me.
someone in the
If they
chat do
really
some
are twins in
research?
real life. Yeah.
Yeah, we're certainly not going to bother.
No.
Okay, so here we go. We get to see that comparison straight away, early doors. So they're in some kind of pleasant valley, aren't they? And the two sisters.
They're
and,
outside they're outside the fortress. I was going to say,
fortress,
finally,
yes.
finally, we get a nice wee bird in the show, but I don't want Mega Geek to think I'm talking about one of the fucking children.
What was that stupid butterfly thing? I thought she was going to crush it because that would have really good, but she didn't, did she? With the force, she stopped it.
It's there to establish the difference between them
Yeah,
because
yeah,
when May uses the force on it. No, sorry, no. Osha, I've already drink. Whose rule was it when you confuse one for the other one? I've already done it. Drink for the first time.
Boom,
Osha
have a
uses the
drink.
force on it, and that's fine. But then May uses the force on it, and that's not fine because
Yeah.
we fuck consistency, I guess. And that's all to establish that one of them is evil and is going to go on and like try and murder the other one or something. It's so on the nose right from the word
Yes,
go, and that's before
hand-fisted.
anyone's even spoken.
Yeah, I know. It's hand-fisted. That's what it is.
Just, I was hoping there was going to be a little bit of subtlety when you first see Osha with it. She does has a little, maybe half second of going too far with it, and then May just goes really too far. But that'll probably come to nothing. I'll wager.
Yeah.
It's also to establish that despite spending $22 million per episode, the CGI looks like utter dog shite.
I don't know. Were you talking about the little butterfly thing?
Yeah.
It was all right. It's okay.
It
It wasn't
got
great.
considerably worse, didn't it? Let's
Yeah,
say.
it did.
Dave's here, everyone. We've been trying to get Dave on for ages. He's finally turned up in his blue Mac and his beanie and his just for men beard. And he says, first time here, drunkards from the British Empire got it. So you got the memo. Glad you're here, Dave. Now, settle down, Dave. We expect our chat to do some work, so be prepared. The others will fill you in, but good to have you on board. Okay, so the kids are still chatting away. What are they considering eating? I must have missed that bit.
Well,
It's a tree.
it's quite
The tree is
interesting.
dangerous, but only if you eat it. Sorry, Brian,
Tree.
if you.
Oh,
You're right, it is the tree. But later on, there's something that comes in that's quite interesting. We'll get to that.
okay.
I say quite interesting by taking the piss standards, not by Leslie Head Jobs writing standards.
If only Brownie was here, we'd love to read out the wings flapping, wobbling.
Yeah, he would like that. There is one little thing about this that sort of contradicts, well, obviously, because it's the Acolyte, it contradicts, but because this episode's going to go on to establish that for some reason, even though she's never left this place or this fortress specifically, Osha has sort of cabin fever and she really wants to leave and join the Jedi, even though she has no business knowing what a Jedi is. And May is the one who wants to stay because she wants to become the witch. And yet in this scene here, Osha is the one who really likes this planet. She really likes the tree. She really likes the butterfly. She thinks this place is beautiful. And it's May who is the one who is being a dick to everything. So they can't even really keep that consistent, because if you wanted to start building that up straight away, you would have May being quite interested in the dangerous tree, for example, and you would have Osha being quite bored about it because she's been stuck here for so long. But that would constitute character writing.
Let's just say that she did know what the Jedi was. How much positivity do you think she would have heard from the witches about the Jedi? I'll wager not a fucking lot.
It makes you wonder
yeah.
why she wanted to be one. Then, if you go with that
Yes.
logic, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So I guess we're trying to establish here maybe little bit of just playful, childish conflict between the twins. They're not one and the same. They act a little bit differently, and that's a half-arsed setup for what we're about to see later on, I guess, isn't it? But is this the one you fancy, Mega Geek, or is it the other one? Which one is it?
Just saying that they don't look the same.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
They don't. As I said, when I was watching this episode, I just thought to myself, are they really twins in real life? Because real twins, if they're not identical, they look different, don't they? Just slightly
they
different.
might be non-identical twins or like semi-identical twins. Are semi-identical twins a thing? I guess they are if one of them sort of falls on their face when they're born and they become semi-identical.
Yeah. They still got the Rick James hairstyle, haven't they? After all these years. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. And why are they wearing the same
in my
clothes?
kitchen, which looks exactly like that hair. It's an old mop as well. I think I need to throw it out.
Well, why are they wearing the same clothes, though? I don't understand.
Well, it's like when you dress your twins in the same,
Jesus.
Teletubbies pajamas or whatever it is. I don't know. So they mention here the Ascension. It's not a prog rock band from the 80s. What is the Ascension, anybody?
Who knows?
It's a ceremony that the witches do to confirm their witchdom. Yeah, I've given it this little thought, this Leslie Head job.
It's rubbish.
So
what's
at this
thing
point,
they did with the hands, where they put their hands together and the camera spins round them, and what the hell? I was just like sitting there going, "Oh, this is just such shit." Anyway, sorry, carry on.
you felt that way at this point. I mean, God help us when we get another 15 minutes in. It could be fun. Look, I hate to put the foot on the brake so early on, but we have got some super chats stacked up. So I'm going to just rattle through them. I'm going to get all of my fine retrobates to take part. So first of all, I'll start us off with my old mate, Girth Knight. And Girth says, Ruin, you lit the fire that ignited Kathleen's flame to hire Leslie to direct the Acolyte. Can we get a Knives Out chronicling this? Girth, for you, anything, my friend. And it's $4.99 if you're old American bullshit dollars, but we appreciate it. Thanks, Girth, one of our master wrenchmen. Thank you, Girth. Ploots, could you do this one from our old mate Tom, if you would?
Tom for £2. Jack your body. I guess that's a reference, but I don't get it.
You're too young for that song.
What is it, Brian? I'm not too young for it, but I don't get it. What's going on?
I think about 1990 dance song. I think
Right.
Brown will know it. He was.
Right.
I'll be tits or gay. So you jack your body, lad.
Couldn't have picked a better song.
Okay, well, Brian, while we've got you, can you do this particularly generous one from Old Cranky Gamer?
Old Cranky Gamer for $20 in the chat says, I personally love my new favorite Jedi, the very young Taito Diaz Bitez.
So that's a BTs, yes. We know exactly who you're talking about. He doesn't feature in this episode, but I'm sure he'll be back if he lives long enough. Thanks, Old Cranky Gamer.
It's a shame.
What
I was
else have we
looking forward
got?
to seeing more of him.
I know.
It's like he does have this sort of gravitational effect on everything around him. Like he does sort of capture the scene in that way. Like it's annoying because Echo did that I think it was you, wasn't it, Echo, who did the diabetes thing first, which sort of blew up on Twitter and on YouTube, which was really annoying because you took the joke before I got around to doing it, so I had to call him something else. He's now Chungo Fat in my script.
Someone said, "What's higher? His midichlorian count or his blood pressure?"
Oh God, it's so harsh. He's not even in this episode. He's copping some strays. Oh, we're so sorry. Anyway, Echo, while we've got you, could you do this one, please, if you would?
Humanist robot for €5. Fascinating how the show's vindictiveness is completely undermined by its incompetence.
Wow,
nice. That's a chin stroker.
Yeah, I like it. You can definitely come again. Let's Darth Kipling, could you Emperor Kipling, Lord Kipling, whatever your official title is, could you do another one from my favourite girthy mate.
Knight in the chat for $4.99 says, hey, good on Oshers for not trusting those witches and believing in the Jedi via the warm welcome of a Wookiee.
Oh. Wookie. And one more, and then Brownie, if you would. Brown's in the back. Hugh Edwards, pants around the ankles, absolutely having the time of his life. Butt plug in, oiled up, greased up, lubed up, you name it. Could you just keep an eye on the Super Jazz, Brown? Because I will not remember what we've done and what we haven't done, but I'm pretty sure we haven't done this from Old Cranky Gamer. And who's not Mega Geek, if you would, on this one, please.
OSHA, what's that say? I can't even see it. I ain't got glasses on. What does that say? Oh, shit.
Enacted.
Oh, enacted order 2.3.3 always, which is always used as a clock block. Chop block? Sorry.
Clock block.
When loading pilot images. There you go.
Well,
Mega.
Old Cranky Gamer definitely got his money's worth there.
Yeah, sorry.
Old Cranky Gamer got his money's worth, and Mega Geek got an eye test all at the same time. That was good value, wasn't it?
I just lost my glasses. What the fuck?
Oh no!
It's all that time spent trying to read Brown's "Please like, share, and subscribe" slide. Like all these years of doing that, it's completely unreadable. It's ruined his eyes.
Worse, yeah, got worse.
Old Cranky Gamer, don't worry. Brown will issue a 50% refund on that one. Don't worry at all. Anyway, back to the fun. We've still got these two idiots talking shit in the forest. It's a bit Endor-like, isn't it? I would just see a speeder bike weaving through the trees there. But here's this handsy thing they do.
Yeah.
Anyone want to impart some knowledge on what the hell they're doing here with the hands?
Who knows?
They're twins, and it's a thing that sisters, I guess, do. It's the saying that she uses in the weird little flashback, or not flashback, the dream that spoils the entire mystery in episode 1. But what the episode is trying to do is to show that Maya is incredibly enthusiastic about all of this, and Osha is very reluctant to reciprocate.
She doesn't want to be a witch or something.
The chant continues and the strange medieval dance continues. Really,
then we get our first laugh out loud moment for me is then it pans slowly back to see a Jedi literally just watching, spying from behind a tree.
Yeah, that's Squid Game. Squid Game man. Yeah, with his Beatles haircut.
Yeah,
stupid, isn't it? Oh god, this is so.
I'm skipping through because the writing is particularly fucking cringe, so we don't want to dwell on that. But anyway, do we know this? Oh, well, here we go. At first,
why
I thought
is it not safe out there? Isn't this how they're planning?
No, because the outside of the fortress, and they already know that there's Jedi going about. She explains that in the next scene.
Oh,
this is the introduction of Mother Coral Zabrak.
Mother Coral, yeah.
Coral's on her forehead.
Mother Bovril, okay. I thought she had a bit of the old Darth Mauls going on with all his face paint washed out. It was
no, she's a level 9 lesbian. That's what happens.
Oh, okay. Does she have the old double-ended dildo like Darth Maul? Is that what's going on here? What species is she? Is she a particular species?
Zabrak.
Zabrak. Oh, okay.
What the hell's a Zabrak?
It's what Darth Maul is, Zabrak.
But there's so much of that in the show, like the dread-headed dude, wimpy Jedi guy's Padawan we see at the beginning with the Ferengi ears. She's got like that forehead crap, and then there's the other chick with the yellow face and the orange eye stuff, and she's also got that crap. So why is there so much of this in the show?
Don't know.
Well, there's Jimmy Savile. I mean, the Squid Game guy peering around a tree there, and wow, we get the credits rolling particularly early. Normally, we get a lot more, don't we? But
we'll put it out because it's hard to convey when it still slides. But because Echo, I think you said that was like the one that made you laugh first, and I'm kind of with you on that because when you actually watch it play out, it is so comically done. People spawn in this episode, so like evil. Like hornhead lesbian woman, she spawns to tell them off. He spawns behind a tree and just sort of creepily stares at them. And this old woman will spawn later to do some exposition and never be seen again. I think they're the only 3 spawn people, but there might be some more as well. It's just like there's no conception of how people get from place to place.
Yeah.
I hate to go back, but when we had this this particular new character, I'm going to need a better name for her. So there's your first mission tonight, chat. If you could give me an alternative name for this character, we've already got one. Perhaps Echo will get you to read this one out from Cider Feet. Here we go.
Mother Spiky McDikey.
There we go. That's there's a good example for us. Let's see. Oh, we've got another one. Brian, why don't you do this from the Wayfarer Project?
The Wayfarer Project with the range says Darth Les Maul.
Oh, I like the guitar reference.
That's the first thing I thought when I saw Les Maul.
We've got another one here. Palps, if you would.
Jansen says Daft Maul. Daft Maul, yes, absolutely appropriate.
We've got a bit of a mouthful this one, but Megan, why don't you take this one on, seeing as your eyesight's on point.
Mother, was that? Oh,
Oh no!
get somebody else to read it. Jesus Christ! How am I supposed to read this? I have no idea what any of this says.
Plutz, could you pick up the slack here?
Mother Coral is canonically a Mando-Clitorian.
Mando Matorian. I was never going to get that one.
We've got a few more. Let's rattle through because people have put some thought into this. More thought than fucking Leslie Headland. Who can we? Let's get Brian to do this one.
Rab 1967 says giblet flange fingerer.
Oh God. Okay, just checking. Yeah, I think we've peaked. Thanks, Kelvin. There's some corkers. Their chatter warmed up, folks. Okay, roll credits. Here we go. Mysterious music plays, and we're off. And we move to the planet Vagina, or what is this thing? Is it a volcano or
It's the fortress.
Vulva? What is it? Fortress. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking, because at that distance shot there, I was thinking that's that scene in the Da Vinci Code when Ian McKellen is explaining that the V is the shape of the cup and it's the woman's womb. They've designed a vagina fortress.
Oh, how very appropriate. I thought when we saw this scene, I thought they've randomly got a camera in shots, but no, it's some
Yeah.
Triangles on that, similar to the igniter on Luke's Return of the Jedi lightsaber.
Can I give a little bit of context about how the show was performing?
Oh,
you know how
please.
there was a big surge of enthusiasm that, oh my God, 4.8 million people tuned in for the first day. This is a smash hit. All those reactionaries and dodgy people that put that in your pipe and smoke it. But the Acolyte reaches 11.1 million views in 5 days, nearly 3 million short of the Ahsoka debut, and Ahsoka's numbers were well below The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So this is a show in a death spiral.
Wow. And also worth mentioning, Echo, despite it not doing the kind of numbers that previous series have done, they've spent a lot more on this series, haven't they? So spent more, achieved less, going well, I think.
Just a slide before we move on, Rune.
Yeah. Previous one, Brian?
No, that was
the
one that maybe have some spice creams. Now, spice in Star Wars is drugs, so are they essentially asking for and feeding them on hash cookies, etc.?
Oh,
drugs.
Well, it would certainly help the viewing experience of this program. But hey, 375 man babies in the chat.
Recipe.
Oh yes, Kippers, we'd love some Mr. Kipling spice cream.
Again, with this shot, you can tell these two girls are not twins. I mean, they look very different, completely and utterly different to each other. And then when they grow up, they look identical. Doesn't make any sense. Carry on.
Well, here she is. What name did we settle on? Was there a particular favourite?
Spiky head.
Spiky hair, you're going with the PG one. Okay, that's okay,
Yeah.
Mega. So basically, we get a bit of an argument here between the two lesbian space mothers over what the children can and cannot eat. Wow, riveting stuff here.
It's punishment been denied because she's trying to discipline him for disappearing over the wall.
Ah, yes.
And she's good cop, and the other one's bad cop, isn't it?
That's
Yes.
it. Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, the white one's the bad one.
Which becomes semi-important later on in the story, in the episode even.
Now, I did, when this character came on screen, I did at first think, where does her hair stop and her attire start? It's all kind of weaved into one. It's almost like, I don't know, it reminded me, who's the guy from Jabba's palace, this kind of servant guy
what's
with
his name?
Bib
The one with the big
Fortuna,
thing.
isn't it?
Bib Fortuna, yeah. She's got a bit of the Bib Fortunas going on via some
I thought it was
dreadlocks.
Floella Benjamin when I first saw it.
there's
It wasn't.
there's
wasn't
one
her.
for the kids.
You're the only one that's going to get away with that line. Megan.
I know.
No, that's why we need them. Okay, well, she is. It turns out she is the nice cop, the good cop, and they're allowed the spice cakes, spice creams, whatever.
Well, it's ice cream, isn't it? Spice cream, ice cream.
Yes, we don't have mechanics, we have mechnics. It's
so on the head.
Beautifully inventive.
Other thing I've just noticed is that the twins seem to be descended from Mother Anasiah, or whatever she's called, the one we just saw, the good cop woman. But what I remember the show establishing is that the bad cop, spiky head woman, is the one who actually carried them in her womb, and Mother Anasiah just used the Force to impregnate her. So there's no DNA going in from the one they resemble. So I don't know why they've visibly descended from her and not the one who theoretically did actually have a DNA link with them. I guess it's just they wanted a human protagonist as opposed to a spiky-headed one, which is racist if you think about it.
Well, they wanted
Speciesist.
black kids, didn't they?
Dark Side of the Walk must be creaming himself at this
I
shot.
know. There's definitely a walk in there. And also there is something else which one of our man babies have noticed. Brian, could you do this one, please?
I was just about to ask that question, yeah.
Neeson Dong in the chat says, is that Liam Neeson's cock sticking out of the wall?
No, it's way too small. Neeson's cock. Oh God! Take a
what has
drink.
that woman got at the back of her? It looks like a chair that's stuck in her dress, doesn't it? What is that? What is that? Anybody?
That's a foxtail. She's a fairy. We have all kinds on this show.
It's weird.
Why is there a pointless mini staircase that goes up to a tub by a wall?
Because it's the closest you get to an arse shot.
Yes. Yeah, those are going to be few and far between in the show, I'm afraid.
I don't know. I mean, do I go there and say it was designed by women? Of course, it makes no fucking sense. Oh God, and they'll cancel me for that. I don't know. Anyway, we get our first glimpse of some lesbian action. Now, I do believe this is the first bit of lesbo action we've had since Rise of Skywalker. Am I right there? The brief kiss in Rise of Skywalker? Or was there anything else I missed? You never know with these Disney shows.
There was a comic book that had some implications about, believe it or not, Leia and Holdo, but I'm not sure of the timescale on that one.
There is the implication of lesbians in Andor, but because that show is actually well written, like it's not offensively on the nose. But the lesbianism was sort of the thing I think people were gearing themselves up to hate about this episode, and I didn't really hate that about this episode because it's barely even in it. It's everything else about the episode which is shockingly bad, including this. Because like the problem with this show all the way through has just been this massively on the nose, like so on the nose it actually hurts exposition stuff. And this is one of those scenes because they just tell each other the backstory, and they're not even talking to each other. You just say like, one of them says stuff like, oh, that they left the fortress again, and that is dangerous. And the other one says, oh, you should stop being so mean to them. And the other one says, oh, but they are not normal children. I know they are not normal children. It's like, this isn't how people speak. Stop it.
I feel that this is 99% the dynamic in the Headland household, where Leslie is sort of the one on the right with the more sensual, more creative, more sensitive, and her wife is more supposed to be the one on the left. So I think she just self-inserted her own domestic circumstances into the scene.
Quite possibly. So,
really
I
thought-
mean, go on,
Sorry,
Brian.
Ron. I think I've got a little delay going on. I really was quite surprised from some of the rumours that were going about. I thought it was going to be batting you over the head with it. I mean, it wasn't. Or was it? Was it slightly? It was a lot more subtle than I thought it was going to be, put it that way. It could be read, if you weren't in the know, it could be read as if there wasn't a relationship, I think.
Oh, okay. Bit of balance there in the force from Brian. I was going to ask Mega Geek. I mean, what do you think of the composition of this shot? They walk up. We've got the in shadow and the background there, and then the touch of the chin.
Silhouette shot, and it's nice. I mean, even when they're outside, outside the fortress, the two girls, the photography is really good in it. But the technical side has never been at fault when it comes to any of the branch out Star Wars stuff. If you look at Mandalorian, look at Ahsoka, the special effects are kind of on point really for a TV show. So everything else though surrounding it is absolute shit, isn't it? Let's face it, the script, the acting, right across the board. So yeah, I mean the DLP knows what he's doing, obviously. So I mean, it looks okay. I just don't like what's happening in front. That's all.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Brown's, I mean, he does his best at these, but he's captured the tender touch on the cheek and everything, but he's missed the bit where they do the full-on tongues, hasn't he? Brownie, you missed the best bit. Come on, Brown. A question here from Old Cranky Gamer. Maybe Emperor Kipling could take this one.
Old Cranky Gamer in the chat says, Princess Leia did finger a lesbian in A New Hope, from what Headland has said. Is that true?
Is that true?
Hope she didn't use her cocaine finger.
Where's the... Oh, God, that's brutal. We're going to need internet help desk to check that one if he's about. So we'll put out the call on that one. So they get a little bit tender. It's a little bit inferred, as Brian said, but yeah, they're basically talking again. It's not really riveting stuff. It's how they bring up the twin children, isn't it? And yes, we get it. It's got a habit to this, hasn't it? Plutz, let me bring you in because you're a man who understands plot. Why does the Acolyte constantly feel the need to tell us the same fucking thing over and over again? We already established one's a bit more lenient, one's a bit more strict. What is this? Is it just shit writing or what? What's going on?
Yeah, it is appalling writing. And I kind of wonder how much of it is down to sheer inexperience on the part of the people they get in to do the scripting. Because a lot of I work, video game stuff, so that you see scripts and you see scripts put in by writers who've not been doing it for a very long time. A lot of the temptation for early days writers or people without a huge amount of screenwriting experience is that you do lean way too heavily on exposition because you haven't seen the scene that you're actually writing. So you feel the need to point out every detail in the script you're actually writing in order that everybody knows what you're talking about. So the temptation is quite often to go way too heavy-handed by saying all of this pointless establishment stuff that we can actually get visually or by character interactions, so the way they look at each other, the way they act with each other, which is a subtler way of writing. And I think it's sort of the sort of thing you pick up the more you've done it. I don't know who wrote this particular episode. I don't think it was Headland. So I would have to probably look at what they've done previously. If it turns out they've only done one script before, then my guess would be they just are completely inexperienced. And so they feel the need to point everything out to the audience because they're pointing it out to themselves to make sure they've got it firmly in their head and whoever's editing it will know what they're looking for. But it's unforgivable in a $180 million Star Wars production because you should learn to stop doing this from basically the first time you have a script reviewed by anyone. There is no excuse for it. And it's every episode. And it's several times every episode. In fact, it's almost every time anybody speaks to each other. And it's really, really, really fucking bad.
I mean, they don't even know how to take this and do subtext instead of actually just nail on the head sort of thing. That's how bad these writers are. Do you know what I mean?
I
The one
could
at the
only watch
end-
this in 5-minute increments because it was affecting me on a frame by frame, almost molecular level. And, one moment when I had to switch off was when one of the twins says, "What's wrong with you?" and the other twin replies, "What's wrong with you?"
Mhm.
Well,
And
we
then
get
she
our
tries to
first
burn
hint.
her to death.
We get our first hint here that the twins are not normal children. Oh, this could be interesting when we find out a little bit more about that. But
The word hint
anyway,
there is doing a lot of heavy lifting. The first hint
Yes.
that the twins are not normal children is one of the characters telling you that they are not normal children.
I'm trying to defend poor Leslie, but anyway, whoever made the point, it wasn't actually written by. I think Platoon, you suggested it wasn't actually written by Leslie Headland or directed by her. So we will discuss who did both roles later on. They were different people. In fact, it was a team of people. Two of them were female, of course. But I did take it upon myself to check them out. I thought, oh, who's written and directed this absolute wondrous stuff? And surprise, surprise, they have zero fucking background in anything of any note. I know one of them did Winter Soldier or something. But anyway, we'll get there at the end, man, babies. Hold your goddamn horses. We've moved indoors. And Brian, let me bring you in and tell us what the fuck's going on in this scene, Brian.
This is the training session where Anasenia talks about the Force as being, as it says there, a thread woven through all of his existence, which is different from Ben Kenobi saying the Force is an energy field that surrounds us and binds us and penetrates us wherever you want.
Okay, well, training. Okay, it's not a concept I'm familiar with, but I'm willing to roll with it. So, okay,
I just love the scene where the two kids start hitting each other like some comedy thing. No, you do it. No, you do it. No, you do it.
And it just goes on as well.
Ridiculous.
Like the entire time she's speaking, all they're doing is saying, "Stop distracting me, push. Stop distracting me, push." Like, okay, so someone's going to stop them, right? Oh no, they carry on.
Oh, well,
Great.
Yeah.
The-
And
there
what
was
is
a-
that stupid thing where she does like the Force with one woman and then two women?
Oh God, it's
Yeah.
coming. Don't worry, it's coming. Is it just me, or is the child acting? I don't want to be harsh, and we know young Anakin, but the child acting was fucking terrible, wasn't it?
That
I
was
mean,
abysmal, yeah.
surely as a director, you make a call and say, okay, I need to minimize this, but oh my God, it was dog shit.
It is bad. I've seen worse, tell you the truth, but we know why they're there, right? I mean, if you were going to pick the best child for the job, that it probably wouldn't be these two, would it? But we know why they're there because of the box ticking. So yeah, there you go. That's what you get.
Mega Geek said it, folks. Not all views represent the Mr. Brown Alliance channel, but if you want to submit your complaints, you can write them to the aforementioned address. Just put a dog turd in the envelope as well. I'm sure Brownie'd appreciate that. Here's an interesting comment from Justin Channels. I nearly called him our old mate, Justin Channels. Don't know if I've ever seen Justin Channels before, but we welcome him anyway. He says, when the writing is this bad and the actors are this uneven, the direction is at fault. Mega, as a director, would you agree with that?
No, I disagree. You
Oh.
can't really blame the director. If the director's given a shitty script and the actors are really crap, there's only so much he can do. If he was in charge of the editing room and he was an editor, yes, maybe you could, make their acting slightly better by editing it in a way that it looks like they're acting. But if you're just directing this shit, there's nothing you can do really. Absolutely fuck all.
We've actually got clarity on who the writer was. Here we go. Captain
ChatGPT.
And also
whatever,
Dave. Sorry, Echo. Sorry, go ahead, Echo.
I just want to say, whatever life-giving properties were bestowed upon the lesbian witch coven to create babies was evidently sucked out of the depths of my own life force in a form of televisual vampirism. Because you can have great children actors, like even the one who's playing like the yellow-faced one in this show, like she was in like a previous film as a child actor, and she was fantastic. So you can have great children actors, and these two are abysmal to watch.
Yeah.
Dave L, who's new to the channel. Dave, some valuable contributions. He says 2 women with no IMDb credits to the name wrote this. How does this happen? One of the most,
Well, it's because they're probably gay, and that's why they got hired. Or they're probably women of color, and that's why they got hired.
Imagine applying for a job with nothing on your fucking CV and getting the job, and that job is one of the most prestigious, well-paid, high-budget jobs going. What the fuck is going on? Where's my fucking trilogy? Anyway, back to the lesbian speech, and they're still talking about Threads. Oh God, Threads! Isn't Threads some Facebook social media?
It is, yeah. It's part of Instagram, isn't it? Threads. Threads.
So it's,
I'm not sure just like what the utility is in having this bunch as like a new faction of witches who we'll never see again, by the way, when this show inevitably does flop and when it's cancelled and we never hear from this again. Like these witches will never recur. And so I don't really know why we've introduced them when like the Night Sisters are something that they seem to really want to use because of how much they feature in not the Mandalorian, what's Ahsoka, for example. So we know that they want to have those playing a prominent role in Disney Star Wars. What is the utility in not making these witches Night Sisters and this being a Night Sister plot against the Jedi? Because we need to establish them.
You know why they did it. We don't have to spell it out because they want to push the lesbian thing in it, don't they?
That's but Night Sisters are all women. The Night Sisters are themselves all women. They could still be lesbians. Lesbians and witches is interchangeable, but you know.
No, but they don't want it to be part of the old Star Wars. They want to create something new within the structure of Star Wars, right? So they want to push the agenda forward. So they created this new Threads thing, whatever, and they're all women and they're all strong and they're all lesbians, and that's what they're pushing. You know, that's the agenda. What can I say?
Hello to all the lesbians in the chat, by the way. I'm glad you could all join us tonight. Apparently, we've hit a channel record for the number of man babies on one chat. So we will be submitting all your personal details to Disney so you can be put on a watch list. So don't worry, folks. We're going to have you covered.
Also, Platoon, right? They could have been Jedis, but a different faction of Jedis. Do you know what I mean? That faction that doesn't agree with the other Jedi's teaching. They could have been that. But they don't want that, do they? They don't want it to be connected to what us as real fans of Star Wars like. They want to destroy what we like. And they're definitely here to destroy the Jedi, aren't they? Don't you think?
No, that's true. I think my point, though, is that they have introduced the Night Sisters in Disney Star Wars. They are playing a prominent role in Disney Star Wars. They are all women. They are all witches. They are not Jedi or Sith. They use the Force. They're a different faction. They are oppositional to the Jedi and arguably to the Sith as well. And if you wanted to actually flesh those out within the universe you're creating, I think you would go with them. This seems to be, I think you're probably right in the sense they want to give themselves like the massive amount of freedom just to invent shit without any restrictions. But that's, I still think, the wrong choice.
I do too.
That's one of the frustrating things about the show is that there's half a dozen occasions where you've got the kernel of a really good idea, which just falls on its ass over and over again. And Mega, you've got like everything is subverted and changed to be modern. So the focus goes from hetero to homo, from masculine to feminine, from good versus evil to moral relativism to body discipline versus body positivity, on and on and on. Everything is made to be modernized and the opposite of what the original spirit is.
Yep, exactly. That's the MO, isn't it? With everything.
Some of the lines here are just classic of someone who's not particularly bright, trying to sound cleverer than they are. She says something like, pull the thread, change everything, and then says it ties you to your destiny. But the second line contradicts the first.
Of course it does.
Pull the thread, you change it again. It's like some kind of, as the captain would say, malleable timeline.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, you know, talking of brilliant writing, could I get you to give me your best grunt and queef? Because that's what the
may I make a request?
Certainly.
Just for this next 20 seconds or so, we bring Brown in to do those 2 lines because he's in the chat sending his message. He's itching to say these 2 lines.
Okay, I know he thought we'd missed it. Get on here, Brownie. Here he is, everybody. Say hello to you.
queefing.
Hey, there we go, Brown, and he's gone
Hey.
again. Yeah, look, we've got channel record tonight, and someone pointed out it's no coincidence that's the one night that Brown's not on. You think you found the winning formula, Brown? Anyway, more grunty. Mega, this was the scene you were referring to. This kind of weird, kind of force push thing, and she does it with one, and then she does it with another, and it's. At this point, honestly, I started plaiting my pubes. I was so bored. It just really was ridiculous. Here we go. I mean,
it
what's
was
going on?
ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. This scene. And also, how are they teaching them? They teach. This woman's talking, and the two kids are arguing in the background, and nobody tells them to shut up. It's just ridiculous. The whole scene is just so stupid.
Especially when later on the Zabrak chastises her.
Yeah.
Them fighting in the background just reminded me of Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd fighting in Spies Like Us.
But I mean, it's so crap, isn't it?
Christ.
Push 2, and then when it comes to
painful.
Her daughters, she can't even push. Was it May or the other one? I can't remember which one was the bad one. The bad one stood her ground, didn't she?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure.
She goes behind her, but it's probably just to show that May is the more dedicated student out of the two.
But she didn't want to ascend, did she not? Was it May who didn't want to ascend?
No, it's Osha who doesn't want to ascend. She wants to be a Jedi, and it's May who wants to be the witch.
Drink for confusing the two again.
Oh, good drink. Phil Fedora just saying here, ChatGPT wouldn't stain its reputation with this shit. So we do need to.
I'm confused, right? So I think this question was asked before. Was it answered? So is it May that wants to be the Jedi?
No.
What's the other one then? Osha
wants to be.
So how did she learn about
drink?
How did she learn about Jedis then? If the
don't
witches...
know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no clue. I don't think she does. She can't know about them. Like she's grown up here. She's never left the fortress. The implication is she was born here. The Jedi, it's strongly implied, have a pretty nasty background with these people anyway. Though these people fear the Jedi, so to the extent she knows anything, it will be to fear them. But because the episode needs her to like them, he likes them because that is how writing works.
The one on the left looks like how I looked when I was watching the damn thing, just totally vacant. Sorry,
no, but when they're doing the flailing around dancing, it's so ridiculous because it's nominally sort of like an aggressive pushing and pulling, but they've also got in a state of ecstasy at the same time. And that was another increment where I just had to stop watching. And I wanted to be like that guy, that Jedi, where I could just put myself in suspended animation for 10 years. It was horrible.
Oh, yes. Gavin, I hate to go on a tangent here, but Gavin mentions Threads was about a nuclear war in Sheffield. Anyone seen that movie?
Yes. I watched it last year. Yeah.
Scary as hell.
Brian, I did as well, and maybe I watched it after the back of us talking about it. But I think it was rather late. I was on my own. I was pissed on Rum as usual. That scared the shit out of me. It was really disturbing film. So thanks, Gavin.
Much better than the American version, because the American version came out a week later, didn't it? As I recall, and it was awful compared to Threads. Threads was scary.
Yeah, a few people have picked up on that. Hello, Mr. Biscuits. Mr. Biscuits, it's 11:15. You're in your school uniform. Get to goddamn bed. What are you doing here? Okay, Brownie, we can't allow juniors onto this program.
Mr. Biscuits looks a bit like wee Bunny from Rabsy Nesbitt in that picture.
Let's bring him back. Mr. Biscuit's getting all kinds of strays. He's just turned up to support the channel. It's terrible.
That's Mr. Like Adrian Mole. Do you remember
a young Stephen Merchant?
Or Stephen Merchant, yeah. Adrian Mole. I remember Adrian Mole.
Oh, poor Mr. Biscuit. No, we love you, really, Mr. Biscuit. Why Mr. Biscuits, though?
Maybe he likes biscuits.
I don't want to go there. Okay. You're welcome, Mr. Biscuits, but please do provide your proof of age ID to Mr. Brown. Otherwise, we'll have the HR department on it. Okay, back to the force push, so-called training scene.
Well, go back a slide because you had the dialogue where they wonderfully repeat what the other one exactly said. Let go of me, you let go of me.
Yeah.
Incredible dialogue.
Yeah.
God.
Also
George
quite lucky
Lucas
because
write
if
this?
she'd got the force use that she's using on them there, if she got it slightly wrong, they'd have both cracked their heads against the steps behind them and
Yes,
died.
yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there we go. Did they get pushed over? Is that what happens here? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
trying to demonstrate the
force.
force because they're not paying attention. It's also foreshadowing though, because the line there is your enemies will not warn you before they attack. That is foreshadowing. It's about as subtle as this episode will get because
I think you
we'll
give
see
them
at
too
the
much
end
credit.
that really?
Yeah, there's no foreshadowing going on here.
This is
I don't know. I read that as
Uh,
foreshadowing for what the Jedi almost certainly do at the end, but I guess we'll see.
Mhm.
It's kind of sad that most of the best bits in this are our own headcanon.
Yeah.
Almost as sad as me looking at this and thinking, "Oh, there's a good thumbnail. That looks ridiculous. I'll put that in the thumbnail."
Block me.
We've got a super chat. Could I bring in our fine connoisseur of cakes and delectable pastries, Lord Kipling? If you could do this one, please.
Dark Knight in the chat for $4.99 says the Night Sisters are blood relatives of mine. By the way, they act real tough under their transport breakdown. The transport breaks down? The transport what? Or they encounter Ackley.
Girth, you've broken Palps. You've broken Darth Palps. I've never seen him pause mid-sentence and start having a go at the submission. Oh, God.
Well, at least Mega didn't read it. It would have taken 10 minutes.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, God. Mega reading it would have been more tedious than the fucking witch's dance scene we're about to endure coming up.
Oh,
But
God.
don't worry, folks. You think this is bad, it's about to get a lot worse. We've got a few more super chats.
Judge,
So let's...
Judge Zed in the chat very quickly. Judge Zed has quite a good point, actually, which I'm probably now going to have to throw into
Okay.
my script. I'll pull that one up because I can do that, can't I?
Uh,
Yeah, May is the
there we
one who's
go.
supposed to be like very keen on becoming a witch, and she's just been told that enemies don't warn you. But later, she just goes around saying, "Fight me with all of your strength." So
Yes, true.
consistency.
Fucking hell. Good one.
Plutz, while we've got you, could you do another one from Girth Knight? Girth Knight's, by the way, just back from Vegas. He's won a shitload of money and he's determined to blow it all here on the Brown Alliance channel. Take it away, Plutz.
Garth Knight wrenched for $4.99. The little platoon and that voice could possibly have impregnated the witch who gave birth to them twins. This is true.
Well,
Women frequently just pop out babies when I've been speaking to them. It just happens. It's occupational hazard.
Brian, one for you, if you would. Let's have our old friend, the Nigerian banker, do this one, if you
For
would.
fuck's sake.
Daily does $45 in the chat says, at least Freedom Money does not have really dumb quotes on the back. Light is different color. Did Headland write that? Or was it Felony?
And we've got one more. Echo, can we get you to this one, please?
Garth Knight for $4.99. Platoon, would you donate sperm to a couple crazy ladies claiming to be witches, attempting to create life via an ascension ritual?
I have actually done that once before. So yes,
Have you really, Plutz?
I have indeed.
Oh wow!
Didn't go
What
well.
a was it two crazy ladies attempting to be witches?
Yes,
Oh, wow!
they had the ritual and everything.
Well, that's a
Wow,
sitcom
okay.
sitcom waiting to be made.
It's on his Wikipedia page, folks. It must be true. Okay, training routine continues. Yes, it's fucking tedious. So what we're finding out here, May's doing well, but Osha is not so. That's basically what we're establishing here. Look at this acting, even in the still form. It's fantastic, isn't it? Good God. Distant creaking. Brown, come back on and do this one for me if you would. Come on, Brown.
There you go.
Is that it? Okay. Thanks, Brown. Just lost us 26 viewers in the 3 seconds you contributed there.
Now, was that diegetic or non-diegetic?
Well, we have some uneasy music playing now. What would we class as uneasy music? I mean, trying to think.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, maybe bit of U2, maybe maybe that U2 album we were all forced to listen to when they put it onto iTunes.
Still got that fucking thing loitering like a turd that won't flush.
I don't know. Yeah. What else is there? I don't know. Take your pick. Anything from Eurovision, I guess. I don't know.
And yeah,
Oh, God.
Right. What are we looking at here now?
This is
Oh, right. Okay. So we're getting closer to the ascension, aren't we? And we keep teasing us with the ascension. Yeah.
So to see the last bit, the previous slide, you hear that kind of horrible creaking sound. Now, first of all, when I heard that, I thought there's maybe alerting to the fact that there's Jedi still loitering about. But is maybe too subtle again? Is this creaking supposed to be that this fucking pretend nuclear reactor, whatever the hell they've got, what's it they call it on Millennium Falcon? The main reactor. They shut down the main reactor. Or something that's fucked here.
Yeah.
And is that kind of showing you that later on that'll be important because that's what blows up in the end?
Well, that was my read of it, was that this is sabotage, right? Because I'm pretty sure the end very strongly implies that the fire that May starts, spoilers by the way, May tries to burn her sister alive. So the fire that starts is not the fire that kills everyone. And in fact, the fire doesn't kill most of them. This is sabotage. And the Jedi have done something. And my read of this scene, reading back into it, was that this is things are going mysteriously wrong and that actually they are responsible for it. Because that's why Tommen Baratheon kills himself in the previous episode, saying, we thought we did the right thing. It can't be an accident. They have to have done it.
That would be a far better reason than what we're sort of led to believe, because it doesn't seem to be a good enough reason for him to do that and for them to feel as bad as they did. I hope, just for the sake of my sanity, I hope that's right.
No, I think you're giving them too much credit again. I think this is just something that's
But why would the Jedi do that? Jedi stands for the Jedi's are
because they're evil. In this show, the Jedi are bad people. That's why they're doing it. It's very, so when you see, and we'll see this later when we pan through the slide, but like there's mass bodies which have got nothing to do with the fire at all. Now that could be incompetence on the part of the director, and I'm not ruling it out, but I'm pretty sure this is all about the Jedi actually doing it. You're ruling the incompetence in. It's hard to say this. The only thing that is uncertain about this show is whether it's incompetence or not, because anything could be. But no, I'm pretty sure the Jedi killed them all, and then they took the kids, and that's why they feel guilty.
I hate to sound in defense.
How did they kill them all? Sorry, how did they kill them all? I'm confused.
Well, we don't see that yet, but that'll be episode 4 when we see May's backstory, because May does see them, and that's why when episode 1 kicks off, she says, you do attack unarmed people. And so we've had Osha's backstory in this episode, so 4 will give us May's, will be my guess.
Good point. I actually thought it was the explosion that had taken them out.
So did I. I just thought it was like some gas leak or something. They're not burnt up or anything, are they? So they're all just dead on the ground. I'm like, it's so funny with this next scene. There's smoke everywhere. It's like, who's been smoking in that bedroom? Please give up your cigarettes. It's just
the leftover hash from the cookies.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Oh, so
well, we are we're getting towards the ascension. Who's this actress here? This is
Paula Benjamin. That's who it is.
Oh, come on, you can't do that, Maggie.
This actress launched my YouTube career when I saw that she was going to be colorblind casted to play the real life Anne Boleyn, and that just caused my brain to snap. That started off the channel.
She does look like Anne Boleyn, let's face it.
Anne Boleyn, that famous black woman from history.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
I thought you said Anne Boleyn, but that's someone else entirely for the ex-hamster fanatics among us.
It's as I said, this scene didn't make any sense to me. Why would she want to burn her sister? Why? Because she didn't want to do what she wanted her to do, and it's just the whole thing.
It's so abrupt. They go from being bound by all this like sing-song rhetoric that they have, and then suddenly 5 minutes later, I want to kill you.
Yeah, tell her you love her. I love you, and then I want to
It'll
burn you.
See some bullshit like Mother Ainaside says, like, oh, I impregnated you and I combined the light side and the dark side together,
side,
and you
yeah.
gave birth to twins, and so one of them is the light side and the other one is the dark side.
Is it a
Yes.
fourth dyad?
It's a bit like the
dyad.
plot to Twins, 1988.
It is.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger and what's his face? Just at Flav's comment that was flashed up just for a second there. It says Floella Benjamin through the round window, which is a play school reference. But Osha actually does go through the round window
She
at one
does.
point. What an incredible coincidence!
Oh, wow.
And
Unbelievable.
she stands near the square window as well. So there you go.
Foreshadowing from the chats. It's
There's
unbelievable.
no way the Jedi massacred all the witches. That can't be real.
I wouldn't put it past Squarehead.
I honestly think that's where they're going. I think that's what they want to do. These 4 Jedi, because they hide it from the Council as well. So these 4 Jedi are on some sort of individual mission, which is why mention of May is deleted from the archives. They have to do something because May is the one who says you attack unarmed people. And when May drops back into the scene shortly before she falls down a hole and doesn't die at the end of this episode, she's come from upstairs where she has seen things that Osha hasn't seen. And I can't see any other way around it, unless it is. I mean, it could well be just sheer incompetence and coincidence, but I don't think that's the motive for Tommen killing himself and for May hating the Jedi. I don't see that the Jedi can't kill them.
Could that be the case that Kiadamundi says the Jedi have been extinct? Sorry, the Sith have been extinct from a millennium. Could it be the case that they're offing them on the fly and wiping the records? Would that be too clever for this show? Because they did say that was something we were going to try and address. Yeah, they're going to address that apparently in this show, so we'll see. Oh God, we could be giving this show far too much credit, couldn't we?
Yeah. The actor playing Tommen, the actor in this guy, he offs himself by drinking fluorescent green goo in this show, and in Game of Thrones, he offed himself by leaping out a window.
Yep.
If I recall.
Brown, can you refund Girth Knight every super chat he's ever done and ban him instantly from the channel, please? Thank you very much, Girth. I'm falling out with you, Girth, unless you're taking the piss, because Girth says, honestly, I think these young girls did well in their performance. I mean, look, I'm sure nothing on the young actresses, it's they're only youngsters, but fuck me, it was terrible. It was tedious. Girth, tell me you're taking the piss, Girth. I love you so much. I can't bear to think you'd being genuine. Does anyone else agree with Girth while we're here?
No, he's on his own on this one.
Girth, there's nearly 400 people watching this. I think you're on your bloody own. Anyway, no, we love you really, Girth. Okay, well, look, they are they're being talked into doing this religious ceremony, the ascension, to become witches.
That was another line. Sorry, someone keeps moving the fucking slides along. The previous one. That's another line that could be read a couple of different ways.
Go on, read it in 2 of your favourite voices then.
The galaxy is not a place for that welcomes a woman like us.
Oh, the galaxy is not a fucking place that welcomes women like us. Is that good enough for you? That's not what I meant, as you well know.
I know.
Does it mean to say they don't accept lesbians again?
No, don't say it. Go get us demonetized, for God's sake.
What? No. Well, how could you get demonetized? That's what it's saying, isn't it not?
The world is heteronormative and patriarchal, and therefore they're not welcome.
Well, the what you call it, the messaging is it's very subtle, isn't it? The messaging, let's face it.
I don't think it's that subtle, but it's
it's subtle, all right.
Do you think?
Are
you kidding?
I'm
at that stage of drink where I'm not sure if people are being serious.
It's about as subtle as a queef at a funeral.
That's
it really
right.
is.
That's
fucking
right.
terrible.
Yeah. Awful.
Okay. Well, look, we are getting closer to. Honestly, man, babies in the chat. If you need a pee break, go now, but be quick, because we are getting to one of the greatest scenes, not only in Star Wars but in all movie, TV. In fact, human history. In all of human history, I go back further. let's include the fucking dinosaurs in all prehistoric history, in anything that's ever existed from a molecular level. We are about to see the finest of it, and it's coming up soon. Here we go. Captivating music. What would that be? Echo, give me some captivating music. Name me something.
Enya crossed with the theme from E.T. crossed with something vaguely John Williams. That's what they came up with.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we like it. Okay. Well, picture that, and we flow into unsettling music.
That was
Swappers,
quick.
give me some. It was, yes. Give me some unsettling music, Swappers.
I think the music from The Exorcist would do really well.
Oh, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
There
By the
wasn't any
way,
music in The Exorcist, by
No.
the way.
well, oh, shit. By the way, none of this featured the program, folks. So we're giving it way more credit than it deserves. So the young
Oh, this scene lasted for fucking ever.
sure,
It did, didn't it? It did. And they were arguing,
Yep.
wouldn't they? Let me see what you've written. No, you can't see what I've written. Blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah. It's
just
like, oh,
nothing.
Jesus, yeah.
Christ.
Mm.
Yeah,
Totally.
unnecessary as well, really, isn't it? I mean, it's
Totally.
superfluous.
Well, it's just to show that she's got that book, isn't it?
Mm.
That's all. It's just to add that in. Oh, look.
But it's that, and it's because they still don't think the audience has quite got the point that these twins are like psychologically different from each other. So all they're doing is they just keep doing the very on the nose. Why don't you share things with me? Why don't you want to be a witch? Why don't you want to do the ascension? Why do you hide things from me? Why do you run off alone? I get the fucking point. Stop it.
Totally.
Well, look, I'm promising you the greatest scene in the whole of Star Wars. But while we do that, before we get to that point, let's do some super chats. So, Platoon, if you would, please.
Obi-Wan's dark side for €5. All of this could have been prevented if someone had taken a small dagger to Leslie Headland's ideas board instead of Jedi Trinity.
He
I'm
means
so glad
it,
you said ideas board there.
Metaphorically, not literally. Brian, if you could do this one from our old mate Trouble.
Trevor alone the cherry, 20 fucking Canadian fucking poo horses, loved Obi and a sugar roast. And this is just top shelf. Cheers, guys.
I know, Disney just keeps spewing this shit out. It's fantastic for the channel. Swappers, could you do this one, please?
No, that's
Oh,
terrible news.
no.
Oh,
Really?
is this a genuine call out? Is it okay?
Talk
It's
about a
just
stream killer. Fucking hell.
Oh, okay. Well, look, I don't know the context. There was a super chat. It was queued up. Is this a genuine passing of someone? Is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
No.
it is.
Okay. Well, look, Atom, thanks for sharing the news. Does anyone give me a bit of context here? No one wants to.
Clobberin, that's the guy who runs the Clobberin Times channel. Good guy who had he'd had a heart attack just the day before yesterday and had a fall, and we heard it wasn't looking good. Christ, what a stream killer!
Oh dear. Well, we wish him and his family all the best. Okay. Well, somehow I've got to pick things up from there. Thanks for that, Atom. No, Atom, you're obviously making us all aware, so we appreciate it. Okay, here's how we change gears. Swappers, why don't you do this one for us?
That's an abrupt change of gears.
UK84 in the chat for 2 Canadian Imperial credits. The ascension is the ritual of climbing Liam's dong.
Beautiful. And here's one for Echo, if you could.
Oh, no.
Instead of reviewing all this Disney Star Wars shite, Good says for $4.99, how about e-fapping Red Dwarf?
Oh, be great. That'd be fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of Red Dwarf to get through, but we should do it. Maybe Brownie's next charity stream should be a Red Dwarf inspired one. We've got a few more. Let's do a few more. I'll do this one from Darth Queefius. The witch has died of a queef build-up. Seen it before. Okay, very good. And oh, excuse me, the rum is starting to repeat on me. Plutz, why don't you do this one if you would?
Garth Knight for $4.99 and a wrench. Osha's writings were lost by a flame like some of these sacred Jedi texts. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah.
George Lucas. Yeah, and both are incredibly shit. It's that sort of that fun kind of rhyme.
What's in the book, by the way? I must have zoned out while I was watching the show.
I don't actually. She was sketching something. I don't think it's particularly important. Even I think it's just. I mean, unless I wasn't paying attention because I was writing something else at the time. But I don't remember anything in the actual sketch being important. It's just that she has the notebook in order that May can steal the notebook and somehow supposedly burn down an entire stone fortress with a bit of flaming paper.
Okay, so Platoon, at a deep psychological level, is this the story of Leslie Headland, who is disruptive to her family growing up as a kid, young pubescent, because she's becoming lesbian, and therefore that's disruptive to the family, and that's the deep psychological template? Or it's a deep psychological template that this coven of witches are all lesbian, and everyone should be lesbian, and the fact that this sister might furtively want to be hetero was kind of the subtext causing disruption, so therefore heteronormativity and heterosexuality in and of itself is the negative thing. So which are those two?
Yeah, that could well be it. The burning temple is the symbol of oppressive heteronormativity. I can believe that. Yeah. Well, she did say, didn't she, that she was basing this story off of this strained relationship she has with one of her sisters with whom she doesn't speak. I can't yet figure out what the hell she's trying to tell that sister, but I'm assuming her sister, like most of the rest of the world, is not watching this show.
Well, we have some uneasy music playing here. While we've got you, Plutz, what would you suggest for some uneasy music?
I think discordant, out of tune women singing "The power of one, the power of two, the power of many."
What's the difference between unsettling music and uneasy music? Why did they bother to change that?
Oh,
Who knows?
You know, if you were deaf, you'd appreciate the difference there. But
there's a really tricky key change in the uneasy music, which is what makes it not easy music. It's more technically demanding.
So this is it, folks. This is the point. I was I'll be honest, I was zoning out a little bit at this episode. I was like, fuck yeah, it's just boring, it's shit. And then this happened. Oh my god. It struck me so much I had to pull my pants back up from around my ankles. Honestly, it was really startling. We have a coven of lesbian witches doing a bizarre chant. You know what? There's no one. The first person I could think of here was Mega Geek. And Mega, please be the first to comment what you made of this fabulous, chanty, witchy ascension scene.
It was shit. It was shit. Well, I was just sitting there laughing at this. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You know what? I don't really want to watch this show anymore. Seriously, it's absolute nonsense. Everything in this show is nonsense. Just
oh, but look, they're all dressed up and they're chanting and dancing and putting their arms in the air, and it went on for fucking ever.
then the next scene is obviously they gotta what you call it, push around a white geezer, aren't they? When the next bit happens, do you remember that?
Literally the one white male.
Yeah, the one white guy they pushed around. I'm like, oh, this is just so typical of Disney rubbish. It really is. But you know, there you go.
Well, talking of white males, cue our old mate Common People. He says 1 hour in and I still haven't seen a straight white male.
Yeah.
I read this so I feel seen, or read this so I feel seen. Cheers for that sperm donation, Splatcoom. Highly recommended. You're welcome, Common People. Thank you for your contribution. So we have the Ascension ceremony, don't we? And
it's just fucking exposition. She's just telling them their own backstory, and they love the story so much they all orgasm. It's words. What a scene!
Unbelievable.
I'm gonna throw it out there, folks. Is this? I mean, we had Luke throwing away his lightsaber in The Last Jedi. We had somehow Palpatine returned in The Rise of Skywalker. We had, the ridicule of Obi-Wan. We had Boba Fett. We've really fucking seen it all. We had Ahsoka and some of the most farcical things we've seen on a TV screen. Where does this rank? Let's just quickly go around everyone. I want to know specifically, where does this chanty, lesbian, witchy scene rank? Let's start with Kippers.
God, do I have to really with this? Good God alive! It's just. I just saw this. I saw the clip before I even saw the episode, and I just thought, "What is this interpretive dance? Did I download the wrong episode? Is this the Acolyte, or are we watching like some kind of activist dancing session from some art house stage show? I don't know. I mean, I'm all for exploring other other areas of the Force and other people that might interpret it differently and stuff. I think that could be technically and possibly quite quite interesting, as a little bit of a departure from everything we've got. But I think they're trying to they're actually trying to supplant what George Lucas has written. And this is why I mentioned earlier on in the green room, how long is it until they release a "May the Thread Be With You" t-shirt? Because I think they're gonna try and push this over the Force going forwards. They started it with, I don't know if people noticed, they started it with the Ahsoka show, with the witches in that. They're bringing certain things in and suggesting certain things if you look closely enough. And they're continuing it with this. And I think they're going to bring it to fruition with the Rey movie when it comes out.
Yep.
Okay, Brian, where does this rank on your cringeometer? Is Brian gone?
Don't know.
He did say he would be back.
Oh, did he? Okay, I missed that one. Well, Plutes, while we got you, where's this rank on your cringeometer? I know it takes a lot to make a man of your caliber cringe, but did this do it for you?
Oh no, I cringe every time I watch anything Disney Star Wars puts out. But this is sort of, it's Boba Fett kind of level, I think. I think it's worse than it's not as like destructive as the Obi-Wan show, though that gate scene is incredibly stupid. But it's hard to put into words, and it's almost impossible to capture in slides because it's so much more traumatic when you watch it play out, because everything about it is bad. Like the acting is bad, the lines are bad because it is just exposition. You've got some random witch going every now and then for no fucking reason, and then they all orgasm because they like the story, and it's just and then even the soundtrack, because they all start chanting the power of one, the power of two, the power of many, and the soundtrack itself starts chanting the same thing. And it's just bad. Everything about it should never have been made. This would be embarrassing to watch if it was like 1960s Star Trek, which had no budget, and a filler episode, which was just sort of drug-addled and silly. This would be sort of that caliber, I think. But here we are with $180 million, and it's Star Wars. What are you doing?
Well, the chat are reacting to it. Kerry Answer says, Boba Fett punching himself out of the Sarlacc and coming out 5 stone fatter was enough. Andrew says, I rank it beside Rose Tico saying we win by saving those we love moments. Oh, nice Last Jedi reference. Thank you very much. Mega Geek, I can barely wait to hear what you think of this. What did you make of the old the Ascension and the witchy dance and all the rest of it?
There's only you can only, what the hell are they dressed in? Actually, they look like young Michael Jackson from here, don't they? Dressed, I don't know what's going on here. Seriously, honestly, I almost fell asleep watching this. It was just so boring as well, and so cringy. And I can't. Look. You know what? I seriously, I don't care anymore. Good luck with everybody who wants to carry on watching this show, because it's absolute shit, isn't it? Let's face it. Again, it's just I would say that. Seriously, why would you watch this? It's not Star Wars. It's some lesbian dream, isn't it? Some lesbian wet dream they stuck in a TV show. That's exactly what it is. And then and they're on a mission to destroy Star Wars, to destroy everything that's good about Star Wars, and add gay stuff in there. That's all they're doing. And why would I sit here and watch shows like this? Because obvious that that's what they're doing. So anyway, that's how I feel.
Well, Echo, let's bring Echo in because Khalid says chanting lesbian witches is what we want on our TV, said nobody ever. Echo, is there anything redeemable about this particular sequence? Anything at all?
Well, it's almost in the dark, which is one thing, I suppose. But at this stage in the show, if someone had given me a vial of bright green poison, I probably would have drunk it. So we have to, like, this is worse than Princess Leia running in the chase scene, because that was goofy. It's worse than Sabine Wren getting stabbed, I think. It's worse than Ahsoka twirling around in space with her double lightsabers, deflecting laser beam shots from incoming fighters. But I think just by a hair, I still put Lizzo just by a hair ahead of this in terms of terribleness.
Oh, okay. And Lizzo was in Mando season 3, wasn't it? I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
shit! Yeah, that was
Well,
bad.
yeah. It's getting hard, isn't it, to remember all the
hard, yeah.
shite? There's so much of it. It's stacking up. It's like that fucking scene in Jurassic Park with they see the Triceratops shite. It's just the biggest pile of shit you've ever seen. Brian, let's bring you in. Interested to know your thoughts on this. How was it going down in the deepest, darkest Scotland while you were taking this in? Is Brian still gone? Fucking hell, that's
He's
the mother
gone,
of
yeah.
shit. He's on. Okay. Who haven't we spoken to about this? Probably everyone, isn't it? Well, okay. Well, look, they're still chanting this goddamn song. Who gave me the lines? Ploots, you did it. What did it go like, Ploots?
I believe it's the power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Oh wow! Such
You actually remember that?
Yeah, there we go.
I
And this,
remember because it's so fucking traumatically awful. I was just sitting there thinking, what are you doing? And why are you still doing it?
Yeah.
and wasn't it annoyingly like slightly out of key as well? So it was like the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. It's like some kind of medieval monkish kind of chant. It was, oh god!
It was like, it reminded me. Has everyone seen the second Planet of the Apes movie? The original one from the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a rather sort of unsettling part right at the end of the film when they reveal that bomb right at the end, and they're all singing, but it's
yeah.
all out of key,
Yeah.
and it just sounds bizarre. This is what that reminded me of.
Well, look, I think it's that point in the night where we rattle through not some super chats, because I always like to make sure everyone gets a fair shout. Let's go around the table and do some regular chats. Platoon, let's start with you. Here we go.
Dark side of the Wookiee wrenched. I don't shave my bollocks. Good to
know. Brian, if he's back, here's one for you.
The Wayfarer Project in the chat says is a hell of a lot worse than the Tusken Raider dancing Boba Fett.
Ooh, first shout. Let's see what else we've got in the bag. Let's Kippers. Let's do this one.
Phil Fedora, dysentery.
Short and sweet. And Echo, let's do this one.
The power of one. The power of two. What's a lesbian to do?
And now I've been avoiding him all night because he hasn't got his glasses on. So let's get him let's do him an easy one.
What's that? Oh, hello. Is it me?
There we go. From Gavin for you.
Hold on.
For you,
May the fast be with you.
Well,
The Power
there
of
we go.
One. Wasn't there a film called The Power of One?
Yeah, that's set in South Africa during the end of apartheid.
Yes, of course.
And a kid who's a boxer.
Yes, that's the one.
Chris Gore did a terrible tweet today about the power of one, power of two, power of many being fingers in a lesbian love bash. May I ask, while I was away there, did we do band names, suggested band names for this mob?
Band name. Oh wow. Well, there's one for the chat. We need a band name for the Lesbian Witches, if you would, please, folks. So if you could get on that, verily, we would appreciate it.
I've got,
I got one. In Spiral Carpet Munches.
Oh, that's too good. Too good. He may have killed it already. Look who's in the chat, everyone. It's our old mate Z3. We
I hope
really
you're-
miss you, Z.
Yeah,
We
I
hope
hope
you're
you're
feeling
well.
better soon.
Yeah.
Please get well soon, Z. I'm fucking sick of doing these recaps, and I've only done 2 so far. I've got a band name I'm quite proud of that no one will probably find funny. How about the Benny Degenerates?
Pretty good. I mean, Scissor Sisters is literally already taken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you asked for it, so here we go. We've got Huey Lewis and the Minge Munchers, Fingers and Tongues, Aniseed
So,
Boobaclat Rugmon.
Bobaclat.
We've got Sister Act.
That's pretty good.
Tom's just gone route 1 with Queef.
Queef.
Witches of Lesbos.
Hmm.
Girth, Wine, and Ire. Okay. I like this one from Jim Dowell. Lesbian Zeppelin.
Good, very good. That's nice.
Very good. What else have we got here?
Wayfarer.
Wayfarer. Oh, God on you, Wayfarer. Dyke Leopard.
Trust
Mega-
Smilex to come up with a clever and probably most fitting one so far.
Mega Queef.
We've got Pink Planche.
I've got it.
Go on.
Queefs of the Stone Age.
Queefs of
Oh.
the Stone Age. Brian, what have you started? Good God. Okay, so yes, this is really a thing, by the way, folks. If you've seen the scene or not, it couldn't be further from Star Wars. It's fucking tedious, laughable.
So I'm confused, right? Just a couple of, not even a minute after this, they mentioned that something about children. You're not allowed to have children, and it's against the Jedi law or some nonsense like that. Can anyone explain that?
Not allowed to train children, it was.
Oh, I see. Why? Because the Jedi's train children.
They do, but there's a kind of strange undercurrent of, again, the Force and who's allowed to use it running through this.
Yeah, but it's not the Force, it's the thread, isn't it?
Oh, it's the same thing.
Is it? I thought it was 2 different things. The thread and the Force.
It's the same thing, just a different ideology.
I see.
I also want to shout out to Clitactica. I thought that was very good as well.
Here's we're still going with band names. Staggerly. Oh, good God! What have we unleashed?
I mean, it is literally lesbian maneuvers in the dark, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Tom has given us Justine Beavers.
That's funny.
Gazy. Licking parts.
God almighty.
We haven't done many of these tonight. Apparently, this is a song. I don't know the tune, so someone's gonna have to help me out. Oh, this is a
eggs, and she
Yep.
knows how to use them.
yes, ZZ Top, of course. Tom Tamirat even says one direction.
One direction.
Oh God, we could be here all night. Anyway, she's officially ascended. So, Brian, come in and help me out. In fact, Brian, take the reins. Go on, Brian. What's up?
Can we just do Jay Goodwin's chat first?
Oh yeah. Where Jay Goodwin, recent one, or there we
That's
go.
it.
Oh,
Leslie's Midshite Mummers.
Brian,
Yes.
bring us up to speed. I may have lost track, but basically one of the twins completes the ascension, one doesn't. Am I right here? This is kind of what's going on, isn't it? Or
Yes, and we
what?
also get Osha's full name, which is Verosha Anisia. Oh, fucking hell. What's the point of me even saying it when they say it on the chat, the subtitles there?
Oh no,
so
Atom,
Atom, you're
dumb,
banned.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, there's a hell
But
of a...
they're
I've
doing
got a
this
hell of a
entire
delay here.
ritual. I might have one as well, but my internet's shit. They're doing this incredibly important ritual. They've just told us how important the ritual is. These kids are the most important thing ever. They are in the middle of the ritual. They ascend one child, and then they hear a noise, and they think, "Oh fuck it, let's pause the entire ritual and go and figure out what that was." You could have sent one person off to figure out what the noise was and carried on with it. Why would you stop your most important ritual because there's a noise somewhere? They only do that because obviously the script needs that to happen, so they haven't both ascended by this point. But it's another massive contrivance.
But don't they have security around that area that they live in?
They have scouts that's established earlier on. So what are the scouts doing? They're not working night shift.
Exactly. This whole thing doesn't make any sense. Again, it's just stupid. Bad writing. Total bad writing. Photography's good though, but bad writing all around, isn't it?
I don't even know what that line means. What if they've sliced
I
the
don't know what that means.
platform?
Slice the
What does
platform.
that-
Is this more lesbian terminology? What does that mean? They've sliced the platform. I don't know. Well, look, we're going to have to take a brief musical break because our Eldmate Common People has submitted this, and if you don't mind, it's from my favorite movie. I'm going to take this one, folks. Common People wrenched 20 English pounds, and he in the style of Huey
Huey Lewis.
Hugh Edwards in the news. It says, "Don't need no white man, don't need no Liam, don't need no Jedi to ride this train. It's gay and it's lesbian, it's woke sometimes, and it might just end your life. It's the Acolyte. Dum, 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 dum. It's the Acolyte. Well done, Common People. Beautiful. Brian,
That was lovely. But my pressing question, just very quickly: why the fuck do they have bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Star Wars. What?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, well, it's set 100 years ago, I suppose. I don't know. Brian, I was going to ask if you could take the reins because my old gut is ready to bust. I've got a bladder full of rum and it's going to go at any point. Can you?
Well, I could, but I don't have admin access to this channel.
Oh well, Brian, Brownie will keep doing the clicking. You just do the chat if you would, and permission to piss, folks. I'm seriously gonna.
You should be wearing a nappy for a stream like this.
Well, I know. Well, you know, can only afford so much
Where
things.
is Brown anyway? Isn't this
we're on
his
before
channel? Shouldn't
nappies.
he be in charge?
You'd think, right?
Brown,
There
come
he
and talk to your fans while I go take a piss.
Hi, I don't want to ruin it. That's your job. So there you go. See, I've killed it already.
That's a record.
Platoon, could you? You're very good at this. Could you? Cause you're in the groove. You see, I'm not.
Not really. I'm not, and my internet's crap. But we can have a go.
Brian, anybody?
Just run your own stream. God damn it!
I'm just sat here enjoying you lot.
If you give me the admin privileges, I could have done it for you, Brown. But I'm going to struggle if I don't have control.
Okay, so where are we now? Hide them. What are they hiding?
Children.
Well,
they know the
splitting
Jedi
the
are here for the
platform.
children.
Hiding children? That's not the Disney way.
Yes, it is.
Mm.
Put down your weapons. Oh, the
this is
Jedi are
Mother-
approaching, aren't they?
Yes,
Yes.
this is Mother Senya trying to have a
Yeah.
non-combative welcome
Yeah.
to interrupting on the going to take control of this
Yes.
channel.
Put down your weapons. What weapons? Do they have weapons?
They have bows for no fucking
Bow,
reason.
arrow.
Meat sabers.
In Leslie's
But
defense,
This entire scene is after you, Bran.
this fucking delay is brutal. Chewie does have a bowcaster, so
Yeah, but his
There is
thing
that.
fires lasers out of it, though, doesn't it?
well, we don't see what theirs fires. It could be like the guy from
Maybe.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Maybe.
What would be the mysterious music? I'm thinking Peter Andre,
I knew you were going to say that.
because I'm predictable, you see.
Yes.
Yes. Anybody else? Not heard that one. Echo, mysterious music.
No, my one-track mind. I'm still trying to square the line. They've split the platform. I don't know what that means.
No, I don't know either. Stupid, isn't it? They split.
We all thought Carry On Moss wasn't going to be returning.
No, we knew she was going to return.
Oh, okay.
We saw it in the trailer that she was
Yes.
part of something else. So we knew she was going to come back.
Somehow she returned.
Yeah. So
Colleagues
Much
is
like
just
the
such a
ruin.
stupid choice of word. Why would you say colleagues? It's got such connotations of, business or...
Do
there's
they
a
work at Sainsbury's?
Well,
There's a couple, at least two admin related. I used to be a secretary type comments in the dialogue that no one has decided to address, and we've lost Brown there. Fantastic.
Oh, he's backed out. Okay, well that's all right. I didn't make it to the loo, by the way, folks. Got about halfway down the stairs, and bust all over the place. But anyway, never mind. Where are we now? We've got this chick from the Matrix back. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Now is that what are we looking at here? On a right shoulder appears to be a member of a Korean Beatles tribute band, and on her other shoulder is someone from NSYNC. I mean, we're verging into the territory of name the band again, but and then we've got a balding top knot Wookiee. What the fuck's going on? I used to like Wookiees. What's going on there?
I just thought that was an unshaved lesbian.
In your dreams.
like
That is
Cousin
that
It
talk-
from the Munsters, is it?
It could be, yes. It's so the young chap on the right. It's not Master Frodo or Sam Ganges or whatever he's called. This is the guy who was levitating in the last episode. That right?
Yeah.
aren't I?
Master Torben, aka King Tommen,
Now,
Game of Thrones.
call me, slightly skeptical, but 16 years. Why has he gone from looking like a 14-year-old boy to a 55-year-old man? I mean, in the space of 16 years. Any explanation or?
No.
I think his hairline just got terrified of the scene he was in and tried to run away. And that's what did most of the damage.
And they got some high school interns to give them 1 hour to give him a beard.
Oh, yes, of course. Khalid with the wow. Talk about playing to your middle-aged men audience. He says he should have kept up his dosage of minoxidil. Oh God, that's wow.
There's a few.
Deep Khalid.
There's a few people on Twitter had a problem with the idea of the Jedi just coming and taking people's kids, and blaming Leslie for that. And Christ, I'm going to have to defend her again. And I hate. Oh God, I hate the idea of defending her. This is something I read in a book that was published in 2005, believe it or not, so well into George's tenure, called The Ultimate Visual Guide by a gentleman by Ryder Windham. And basically says that the Jedi used to literally come and take people's kids. And I'm going to read you a very direct quote from this very book. It says, "Many families consider it an honor to have a child adopted into the Jedi, but some refuse to give up their children and regarded the Jedi as baby snatchers." So, disgustingly, it is actually in canon, and worse still, George Lucas canon.
Oh wow.
It's sort of believable if you want to take the darker route with the Jedi, because there were old orders of monks and religious cults and things like that. There's the group, I think they called them oblates, for example, that tended to be sort of medieval England when families couldn't afford to take care of their own kids, and they would give them into the care of the church. They would name them, they were oblates because the church was sort of obligated to care for them. But in certain situations, particularly say like single mothers, then it wasn't unheard of that the children would be taken from the single mother without the single mother's wishes. So, it's not the out of character for weird religious cults to do stuff like that. It's a very deliberate choice to make the Jedi do it. My main problem with this scene, though, is that absolutely everyone involved in it is fucking dumb. They lie all the time, and it's really obvious. It's like straight away this line: "We thought the planet was uninhabited." No, you didn't, and they know you didn't because they already knew you were there. Why are you lying to them if you're only going to get to the point where you say, "Well, we want to test your kid, and we need your permission to do that," even though we don't need that anymore? Like, the entire thing is manufactured to create this conflict, which no sensible person would actually engage in. And it's like, I don't know why they've done this. I think they want it to be tense. They want to give the impression that the Jedi are maybe not well regarded by everyone in the galaxy with regard to these children. But like, the scene itself is one of the clunkiest and most bullshit things I think I've ever seen. They say, "We thought the planet was uninhabited." That's a lie. They said, "We're not here to steal your children." That's a lie. They say, "Well, we need your permission to steal your children," and that's a lie. And then they say, "Well, we want to go and test them," but that's also a lie because they already know what they're looking for, and they know they're lying to each other. Why are you writing it this way, you morons?
Well, it's writing. It's bad, isn't it? The writing's absolutely, totally, and utter shit, isn't it? So I'm not surprised. Why would you be surprised of any of this stuff? It's really awful. Again, I don't think I'm going to watch the next episode because it's absolutely
Oh
shit.
no! Again, I promise it gets better. But look, I hate to cut into this scene. We've got a complaint. Who's our HR representative? Is it Swappers? It's you, isn't it? I believe.
Why? What's up?
Well, Joseph Ricky has said, "So does sharing spoilers count as roasting?" Don't think he's happy that we're doing spoilers. Did we give a spoiler alert at the start?
Well, we can't review it. We can't review it unless we give spoilers. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of comes with the territory, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's
if you're going to
impossible
click
to
on
spoil
it,
this show. The show's
Yes.
already ruined.
if you're going to click on the roast of the Acolyte episode 3, you might get some spoilers. I'm just putting it out there, but
If you
Can I
want
just-
to complain about this show being spoiled, then address all complaints to Leslie Headland.
yeah.
Can I just address something that Princess Fiona said in the chat?
yeah.
It says, directed at me, "Those books aren't canon, you wank." It's signed off by George Lucas, and this is George Lucas when he was in the prequel era, which, as everyone knows, was absolutely fucking shambolic.
Well,
But why couldn't the Jedi? Why did they have to go through all of this? Why didn't they just land their spaceship, go up to the gates, and say, "You've got some Force-sensitive kids. Let's have a discussion, and we'd like to take them away." Why do we have to go through all of this?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Why is the guy hiding behind a tree watching them? That's so strange.
You're hiding Force-sensitive children under the floorboards, aren't you?
yeah. It's just shit, isn't it?
So the general gist of this tete-a-tete is the Jedi are basically trying to see if there's Force-sensitive children or children with the potential to train as Jedi, and the witches obviously are not so keen on the idea. And we've got quoting of Republic lore and Brendok being part of the Republic, and
Well, Brendok's not being part of the Republic, which is the key thing, right? So why even invoke that if it doesn't apply? It's another thing that they say which makes no sense in the context they're saying it. And then there are no children. It's like, what? Why would you expect them to believe that? There are obviously fucking children there. There's one right behind you, you daft bin.
They saw that when they split the platform.
We may have a clarification here. Jay has just alerted me, Noru, and he's saying he has a spoiler. So does our friend Joseph Ricci actually have a spoiler? Well, we welcome it, Joseph. If you want to share it with the team. And yeah, we really don't give a fuck about Disney Star Wars, so we'll happily do spoilers. Okay, we move on. Nice close-up of the Wookiee. Let's bring Swappers in, because I know Swappers loves a bit of Wookiee action. What do you make of this character, Swappers?
Crap.
Oh, you don't like him?
One word.
Well, they had a really good opportunity to bring some interesting alien characters in and using familiar creatures and beings that we knew previously, but they've brought a Wookiee in, which generally doesn't look too bad until Leslie Headland decided to redesign him, and or at least the production artist redesigned him at her instructions, and they've just made him look like a fucking hipster.
He's bald as well, isn't he?
Well, his head's been shaved and he's got like a comb over type
I
man
know.
bun thing on the top of his head, which I guess is some kind of, they're alluding to some kind of religious kind of monk style
His
way of
Nash
styling himself, but it just doesn't work because
his Nash is looking pretty bad shape too.
Yeah.
and I mean, in the last episode, at the end of the last episode, we saw him without any clothes on, and now we see him with clothes on. So there's a little bit of a disparity there, and it's also a bit disconcerting. Was he flashing us in the previous episode, or what? Or was he, because he's not regulating, you know, in a normal situation with other Jedi in a group, he's allowed not to wear his robes? I don't know how it works, but yeah, I'm not a fan of his look in the slightest. There's been far better looking Wookiee characters in the EU that we've seen before, Disney Star Wars. They've styled them really, really well. Even Chewbacca in Shadows of the Empire, styled as a bounty hunter, looked great, you know. And that was kind of a half-assed attempt, really, at redesigning the character, and that still looked a million times better than this. So this is just, I look at him and I just think, oh no, it's like a wrongly, like a pre-finalized version of Chewbacca that got laughed out of the office several times by George Lucas before he finalized the final image.
Well,
I hate the idea of. Oops.
Go on, Brian.
Okay. I hate the idea of Wookiee being Jedi. The idea
So
is
do
they're
I.
supposed to be diplomats as well, and if you can't even speak basic,
Imagine the nightmare of you're the Padawan and your master is a Wookiee. Just all day of your instructions and training would be a nightmare.
Well, in the chat, Flav says he looks like a Yorkie who was walked and not cleaned afterwards. Now, it's almost a bang on cue. I've got the aforesaid Yorkie, and he was walked today, and he wasn't clean. Say hello to everyone. Can you see him there? Let's. How do I get him on the big screen here? Oh, I don't know how to work this fucking thing, Mr. Brown. There we go. There we go. Oh, he's gone. There he is. So we'll. I've had him 6 years now. We haven't given a name yet. So if you want to come up with a name for him,
kill Naka.
Yeah,
kill Naka. Yeah, we killed his Nakas about 4 years ago. There we go. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that little animal moment. Okay, let's. He's going to the rescue home tomorrow. Don't worry. Anyway, back to this shit and what's going on. We've got the kids dressed in gold and the woman who was killed. Why is she looking so much older there? I mean, I know it's Brown would still go there, but
it's the Anakin episode 5 Obi-Wan Kenobi syndrome, where they don't really do a very good job of the CGI de-aging.
Oh, okay. And he's our old mate. What's his name? Lon. What's his name?
Saul, as in
Saul.
our Saul.
Saul. Our Saul is he's latched on to one of the kids as such, and yes, he's. They're not so keen, are they? The lesbian mothers to hand them over.
Those two girls look like they're pulled straight out of that Michael Jackson 70s movie, The Wiz.
Also, right, while the Jedi is there and they go in, you know, we heard you had kids and stuff and they're hiding them. The two kids are talking. They're not even whispering. They're literally just talking. What, they can't hear them, for God's sakes? Do you know what I mean? Oh, this whole thing does just make my brain ache.
The Jedi as well, they should be able to sense the presence
Exactly.
of everyone there, you know?
Just, talk about bad.
Which they already can anyway, and we know that because, you know, when they do take them away to be tested and they do the episode 1 sort of callback when they, you know, hold up the pictures and ask them to guess what they are, they already know when Osha is lying to them, so they can sense what they are projecting through the Force. They can sense them easily. So again, it's a completely unnecessary lie. But then it sort of comes back to the point as to how the hell Osha even knows what a Jedi is. Why she's so interested in a lightsaber. She names a lightsaber as a saber. She says to her sister, like, do they all wear their sabers like that? So how the fuck do you know? You've never seen one before. Why do you know that little metal tube is a lightsaber?
And also, they say, oh, we're concerned that you're training children. It's like, well, it's just, what? Do you know, Yeah, they're creating the backstory of the Jedi, and they're making the Jedi look really bad. Again, that's what they're trying to do to Jedi, aren't they? So,
I mean, like the basic contours of this as an idea, as a conflict, is actually quite good, but the delivery is so slipshod and all over the place, and confusing and rushed and messed up. So it's just so frustrating.
I don't know.
And I don't know about anyone else, but I was kind of warming to Sol. Now it turns out he's some kind of closet pedo. I don't know. It's just disturbing, isn't it? What are they doing with the man? It's just. Well, is this what they're doing, Mega Geek? Are they systematically just destroying the Jedi here?
But that's exactly what it looks like. That's what they're doing. I mean, Disney has this thing now where they take evil villains in their history and try and make them goodies, like Maleficent and what's that one with the
101 Dalmatians with Cruella
that
de
girl
Vil.
with Cruella de Vil, and now they're trying to destroy the Jedi, because obviously that's the thing they're going to do now, because they hate white males in Star Wars. I just don't understand the logic behind this. I just think they're spiteful. I just think these people are spiteful. They just want to destroy things and put their agenda in, and they don't care if hardly anybody's watching it. They got BlackRock money. They're going to carry on, keep going for a long time, aren't they? So spiteful people.
Sol is protesting his innocence, much in the same way as Savile and Schofield and Hugh Edwards did, but we know that worked out. She gets a bit aggressive here, doesn't she? Hold your tongue or I'll cut it out for you. Wow.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Slightly aggressive, isn't it?
Mm.
And Sol appears to draw his lightsaber, but then actually he offers it to the young girl in the gold, which is an interesting move. Yeah. Are we? Can we? Anyone with me on the guy who plays Sol being one of the few kind of half decent moments in this series?
Yes.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He has just
it's
the
gonna be really
pitch perfect
tragic.
right. Yeah, mixture of wisdom and empathy and nice soulfulness, and they got that nice.
Don't get too attached, because he's going to end up being the bad guy at the end, and the girl that's being bad, she's going to end up being the goodie, and so don't get too
If I'm right in my theory and the Jedi are actually responsible for killing this entire group of people, then as nice as he seems in this scene, he is actually complicit in a minor genocide, in which case he's a villain.
Where it's
He
going.
is the only one who brings any kind of heft, any kind of weight to the acting. I mean, it stands out a mile against everyone else, but he is I don't know. He's when he's there, I believe him. Let's just say that.
He's another example of a. Oh God.
Go ahead, Brian.
He's another example of a really good actor who needs a better part, similar to Samuel L. Jackson in the Phantom Menace or the prequel trilogy. Sorry, Echo. Continue.
Well, everything in this episode hinges on his ability to create some sort of empathy and connection with this child super quick, then enable the logic of the rest of the thing, where she might want to become a Jedi. She might think that there could be a world out there, that things could be better, that she could have a protector or mentor. So he's got to sell the whole thing, and to his credit, in this dog shit script, he sort of does his best. So I'll give him that.
Well, we've got a bit of a strange occurrence here, because Torbin, or the Jedi who committed sepulchre in the last episode, is mind possessed? What happens here? Anyone?
Ripped off. His eyes go black and his mind's possessed, and it's just ripped off, I think, entirely from Avengers 2012. It's exactly the same gimmick.
Well, the reason why it's done to him is because he's white and he's a male. So there you go.
Only white male here.
Yeah.
And he's mind raped.
Of course.
So there's a debate going on, because one of the young girls seems to be keen on going through the Padawan test. Here's an interesting one. Struck me. I don't know if it struck anyone else. Are the girls not a little bit old for Padawans? I'm not taking the piss here, but if Anakin was too old, I mean, Yeah.
Yeah, they bring that up in
Okay.
episode 1 when Yord is reading out Osha's backstory for us, because we need that sort of thing. He does say that one of the unusual things was how old she was when she was taken to do her training as a Padawan. So they are a bit old. The scene again is sort of collapsing in its own dialogue, though, because remember earlier when Trinity starts to say Republic law gives us the right, and then Anastasia says, well, we're not part of the Republic, so no, it doesn't. And now Trinity says, but you can't deny we have the right, but we need your permission, in which case you don't have the right because you need their permission. So who the fuck is writing this garbage? Your sentences don't cohere at all. It's like basic English has now failed them.
Do you know what, right? When I first saw Star Wars, the character that jumped out to me, who I really loved and still do, was Han Solo. And I always thought that if they were to carry on with Star Wars after Return of the Jedi, it would be more of that kind of thing where, you got rogues and, shootouts and stuff like that. It's funny how when George Lucas decided to make the prequel, he didn't go that route. He decided to focus on politics. And then Disney decided to focus on sexuality. It's everything but what Star Wars should be. I mean, don't you think, or do you disagree, guys?
Well, I mean, Star Wars should be kind of about adventure, right? And
Exactly.
the show has absolutely no adventure.
I don't know. I just think they're brain dead. Everyone that's actually tried to bring Star Wars alive, and that includes George Lucas for the prequels, literally brain dead. They can't see the wood from the trees.
Mega, I wrote down all the things that the show doesn't have that Star Wars should. So no cool spaceships, no comedic interplay.
That's right.
No exhilarating set pieces, no empathy for characters, nothing scary or foreboding, no captivating mentor, no exotic locations, no adventure, no stirring music, no sense of camaraderie, and no romance. So everything you should have in Star Wars, it doesn't have.
Yeah, but not only this, everything, even the movies, the new Disney movies never had it. Although the first one was slightly bit Star Warsy, but now we know it wasn't. So yeah, I just they had gold in their hands, and what did they do? They buried it and just disregarded it. It's crazy, absolutely crazy what they did to this.
Just want to skip back, sorry, just to this one, because Brian, we've got a challenge for you. MJ UK84 in the chat for 2 Canadian horsewipes says, can Brian do a Liverpudlian / Asian accent for Saul? And I'm interested in this one. I've got a vested interest. So you've only got 2 words there, Brian, but give it your best one.
Are we talking Stevie G or Paul O'Grady?
Oh, definitely Stevie G, I think.
Both gears, number 99 for customer 12.
There you go, MJ. We've got a shed load of super chats, so let's just have a little look at them all. Swappers, could you do this one, please?
Satirist Parabolas for $1.99. It says, where's Abby from the Crucible when you need her?
Oh, Abby from the Crucible. That's a story for another time, isn't it? Echo, could you take this one, please?
There's so much estrogen in this show, insists Smilex, wrenched for £5. Thank goodness I'm here to give off that alpha male energy.
Oh, I always thought Smilex was a female as well. I just thought all otters were female. I don't know.
Brown.
Geordie, could you have a go at this one from Girth Knight? It's not often we see Girth Knight in the super chats, but he's chucked this one in.
Garth Knight wrenched for $4.99. I love how women pretend via film that they like each other and are capable of working together.
That's a comment, actually.
And I'll finish us off on this one. I won't make Mega Geek strain his eyes. Tom for 2 English pounds says, "You lot have ruined Acolyte for me." Really, Tom?
We didn't ruin it. They ruined it by coming up with this shite. That's what they did. It's absolutely
You've done that
nonsense, the whole
yourself.
thing. Exactly.
Oh, nice, Plutes. Okay, we Okay, so there's an agreement here, and they agree to let the girls be tested, and the witches are going to deliver them the testing. Is that what's going on? What the fuck's going on in this
But
program?
why would you though? That's the thing. Why would you give your only 2 children up to the Jedi? This is so confusing to me. They're meant to be mothers and love their children, right? Why would you do that? If you disagree, you'd say, no, you can't have my children. And then you'll fight tooth and nail, even lay your life down for your children, right?
Mm.
So I don't understand this logic at all.
I mean, I think
Is
what
this-
they sort of hope that, because their plan is to take the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
non-confrontational approach and get the 2 girls to lie to the Jedi, but
Yeah.
obviously it doesn't work, and they should know that it doesn't work because they know all
Sure.
about the Jedi, because the implication is the Jedi
Mm.
forced them into hiding to begin with. So it's still, I mean, and then, yeah, the line here is to sort of justify it by saying that we can't attack the Jedi because the Republic will come and wipe us out, but just leave. Kill the Jedi.
Yeah.
There's only 4 of them, and move somewhere else. You're outside the
Yeah.
Republic anyway.
Yeah. It just, none of it makes any sense to me.
But if
Oh, well.
they do kill the Jedi, they can go back to harvesting grain, and then the Jedi won't return in another ship. So, see what I mean?
I mean, this is the kind of weighty dialogue that we've come here for, isn't it? We must let them test the girls. No, no. This is the kind of exchange we want. It's so riveting, you know. So much inference. You have to read between the lines.
I don't know. It
There's,
might be a bit tricky. I don't know how many slides it is. It might be 5. If you go back, there's one sort of distant shot where you see them all standing around. I think it's
That one,
like
maybe.
a couple back than that as well.
Oh, we might have to load up the old slide deck.
Oh,
Brownie,
never
Luke's
mind.
asking for the
fuck
moon on a
that.
stick
No.
here.
I'm definitely not asking to prolong this anymore because I actually have work to do tonight. So, but all I was going to point out is that you can quite clearly see them. They're all standing there, and you can see the steps behind them, even if they're like slightly blocking it. You can still see the steps, and there is no haggard old weird ass fucking witch woman sitting on those stairs. She spawns into the scene in just a second.
does.
She looks
Oh,
horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Is
you
she
go.
is she the relative of that guy? That woman, that fancy Chewbacca in the Disney Star Wars?
Oh,
The one with the big
Maz Kanata.
glasses, yeah. Because I thought that was her at first, but then she looks a lot taller.
And the CGI on this thing that just spawns out of nowhere is terrible. It's really
yeah.
bad.
It's terrifying.
And where did she come from? And how comes we never saw her when they were doing the ritual and stuff like that? Who is she? Crusty old bitch.
Crusty old bitch. There you go. Question answered. So she's now saying rather directly that she brought the girls into this world. We haven't addressed the elephant in the room here, really, have we? I mean, they
Well, is
have
Lizzo around?
essentially they have essentially made redundant Anakin being the chosen one, haven't they? Because they
Yeah.
have they've basically told us anyone can conjure children using the Force, even witchy lesbian folks. I mean, Kippers, you're rather quiet there, but I know you're a fan of the originals and prequels. What do you make of it? Are you okay with Anakin no longer being the chosen one, the special one?
No, it's another reason why this isn't Star Wars at all. I think Headland's deliberately tried to go in there and try to subvert what Lucas has done by enabling Force-enabled beings to create life with the power of lessing. And I just, it's like a wish fulfillment that they want in real life to be able to reproduce without the use of those horrible men. And it looks like they're projecting that on this show. Really?
Yeah, it's an ideal fantasy, isn't it?
She carried them. Wow. So is this spiky head who carried them?
Yes.
Carried the babies, yeah. Okay. So they've got nothing to do with the other one on the right.
No, they're both what sort of at least partially black girls, right?
Yeah.
But none of them have got any traits of their mother who actually biologically carried them. Unless those perma dreadlocks that they've got are kind of a byproduct of the interracial relationship. I don't know.
It's really Rise of Skywalker that takes Anakin's chosen one status away more than this.
But it doesn't
Really?
take away the Immaculate Conception angle.
Yeah, well, he doesn't bring balance, does he? Or if he does, it's only temporary. It's Rey that does it, thanks to the fucking prequels.
Yeah, well, between this and the
sequel.
Rise of Skywalker, they're completely removing all agency from Anakin.
The one difference is that Anakin was conceived purely by the Force, whereas, here we go, she's saying that she created them, which is very similar to the line that Palpatine talks about in Revenge of the Sith.
Plagueis.
That, Plagueis could manipulate the Force to create life. So that's already established, but the annoying thing is that, it's really supposed to be Plagueis is the one who does that, and it's because he's so powerful on the dark side, whereas this is just some relatively random Force user.
They're more powerful though, Brian, because they're women. You see,
yes.
I did actually. I had a dark moment yesterday when I was watching this scene, and I thought, hang on a minute, maybe, just maybe, they can create life by using the thread, right? And they somehow, one of them, when one of this coven disbands, or one of them escapes, or something like that, and goes and forms a lesbian relationship with Shmi Skywalker, and ends up creating Anakin through the thread. And then ends up dying or fucking off. So that's how he was conceived by one of these people.
One of the comics, and I think it shouldn't really count. It's a post Disney takeover comic. Does more than heavily imply that Palpatine is the one that brings Anakin into existence.
That's right. It is only sort of comic based. I think they've kind of retconned that since and said it was just kind of like a supposition vision that they had. It wasn't actually.
The implication, especially in the Revenge of the Sith book, is that Plagueis has got something to do with it, directly linked.
Yeah, you could theorize all day about it, and I like the way that Lucas sort of dropped a few little pebbles in there, to try and for us to follow, to make up our own conclusions, and he doesn't actually write anything conclusively, but so that's kind of the way it's been left. But now Leslie Headland is coming in and going like, no, this is what happened. So she's rewriting the fundamentals of Star Wars, I think, with Kathleen Kennedy's approval.
It's so far gone now, it's just not funny. This is the first real series that I've genuinely not given a flying fuck about. It's just I think Ahsoka rather finally just broke me, and this is just this to me is just a complete and utter nothing burger rather than something that annoys me.
Ahsoka was the one before this, right? Is that right?
Yeah,
because I can remember we got about 3 episodes in, and I just gave up watching. And Brown was like having a go at me for not watching the episodes. I was just like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
It's literally only good for these streams.
Yeah, it is.
Can you go back one row?
Yeah, this one or
no, the other one before that. The wall decoration looks like a gigantic version of that thing that R2 inserts himself into to get.
Yes,
yeah. Take a drink from Member Berries. It did strike me as well in an episode full of females. We've had an absolute lack of wands in the chat, haven't we? Maybe that says something about the. The nature of the females. Anyway, I've had a request come in on the super chats from our old mates Kevo, and for $5 he says, "Ruin, you gotta sing this." Okay, here we go. Let me limber up a little bit. Jedi didn't start the fire. It was always burning like Leslie's green yearning. Oh, lovely Kevo. Who's that by? I reckon I know the tune. Who's that by?
That was from
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel. Yeah.
Billy Joel, of course. Old Billy. Good work, Kevo. Thanks for that. I enjoyed that one. Okay, so the girls here are preparing for the test, but one of them is preparing to lie so they don't get taken away. Is that right? At this point, I was running out of rum and running out of the will to live.
Yeah, they lie so they aren't going to get taken away. But the slightly weird thing is that May goes in for the test first, and May lies to them, and she comes out. So apparently that was successful. Osha goes in and also tries to lie, but Squid Game doesn't let her lie. So, whether again it could just be incompetence because they haven't followed this through, or there's something particularly special about Osha, which is she is the one specifically they want, not May. Because that's the implication you would get from the fact that they refused to let her lie through the test.
Well, look at this mesmerizing Oscar-worthy dialogue exchange.
Wow.
Jesus.
This isn't about. Oh God! How to make 40 minutes the longest 40 minutes of your life? Eh? It's about power, and males aren't allowed to use it.
Right now, you might have feelings for boys, but this will change, and you'll naturally want to come back to what we are.
You're right. You've called it. So here's old Spiky Head back, and they're going, aren't they? More mysterious music. Whoa! So they're going off for the Jedi test. Now, I was hoping for a little more from the Jedi test. It basically consists of looking at an iPad for about 30 seconds. But anyway, we've got the ship, and there's still a little bit of conflict between the girls, isn't there?
What gave you that impression? Could it be perhaps that they've just told you overtly that there's still some conflict between it? Like she says, I don't want to lie, as the Jedi are sitting right behind her.
Yeah, it is spoon feeding us, most definitely.
There is a kind of horrible undermining of the parental / authoritative figure in this show. It seems to run all the way through. I think we can probably take our own ideas as to why that's done, but it always gives me a kind of the same vibe as fucking Home and Away has done for the last 30 years. That same, we know better, we're kids, we should be trusted instead of the parents.
Yeah.
That ship has got a certain kind of Thunderbirds vibe to it.
Yeah.
Kel Naka doing a bit of engineering here because Chewie does a bit of engineering in Empire.
Oh, of course. And of course, if one character in the species does it, then the whole of that species has the same trait. Yes, of course. Is this a memberberry drink? Is it a form of fucking hover bike? What are they called? The biker scouts ride?
Speeder bike.
Speeder bike. Is this some kind of? It looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is just, I can't. Since Swappers did his Photoshop, all I see is Naka going for a shit here on the Portaloo.
Yeah, we loved it. I'm just can't get past this Wookiee's hairdo. I mean, it's very fucking strange, isn't it? I mean, oh dear, I used to like.
Looks like the lawn outside a council house with its just neglected items left out on the grass. Oh, my first drink killer.
Yes, it takes me back to my younger council estate days. Yes. So Kel Naka speaking shitty Wook. We don't know what he says. And here we go. We have one girl already done a test. That was quick, wasn't it? It's like a COVID test, just in and out, just straight up the nostril, and on you go. And we have the other more troublesome one. There's Kel Naka taking a shit, Swappers, dumping the old number 2. Yeah,
certainly looks like it.
What about that stupid conversation that one of them had with the Wookiee? If you can call it a conversation. It's stupid. What was the point of that? I really don't know.
Let's the chat have been underworked tonight, so they don't give us what Kel Naka says, but maybe someone in the chat can translate. So if you can give us the line that Kel Naka says, and then we'll get our panelists to rattle through the best ones. So we'll give you a moment to think about it. But Kel Naka, Echo, Wookiees traditionally amongst the favourites of characters. Is he hitting the spots for you, Kel Naka?
No, I just want a Wookiee as a one-off in a fun film, and he should be a sidekick character. And anything else is just a load of bollocks. And this looks stupid. And like someone was saying before, if this was in A New Hope, it would actually look ridiculous compared to the final product they came up with. So it looks stupid. And I don't like the idea of Wookiees being wise or clever. I like them, like in A New Hope, it's supposed to be a species which is aggressive and a little bit manic or whatever, which is a cool counterpoint to the suave coolness of Han Solo. That was
Yes.
great. But then you
Yeah.
turn them into a whole species with their own culture, their own wisdom, their own lore. Who gives a shit?
Okay, well, we've got some submissions coming through. Let's rattle through them. Plutes, if you go first. Here we go.
Fuck, sorry, give me a sec. Chaos Donut, you're going to have that haircut for the rest of your life.
Interesting. Okay, Brian, if you could do this one.
Jim Dowell says, I'm wearing this robe because my wiki dong is very small.
Okay. Swappers, can you do this one?
You seem faker than Remy's husband.
Don't get the reference, but it. Let's
It's supposed
go.
to be Rennie's, as if Rennie's husband isn't real.
I love the name
Actually-
of that. The name of that account is brilliant as well.
Jay Goodwin came away with the best one.
Oh, really?
It says, do you have a roll of toilet paper? Toilet paper.
Side of feet put me over the edge of this one. Do you want to have a look? It's 1:15, folks, in the UK, and we've got into dick joke territory. We've got any others here? Let's see.
Don't look at Side of Feet's other one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Side of feet's always. Oh, God. Leco, you've suggested it. You could damn well do it. There you go.
Okay. Side of Feet wrenched. All right. How do I tap down through this minefield?
Yes.
Just like a mum loves a furry thing.
Beep. Okay, well, I was going to say I think we've peaked there, but then Melvin comes in at the death with, do you ever stick things up your bum? I mean, honestly, this would.
Is that related to the scene, or just a general thought that he has?
Yeah, I think when Melvin was talking to someone else in the chat there. Anyway, thanks for that, folks. You gave me a tickle. Anyway, we move on because it's time for the second sister. Which sister's this, folks? Take a drink. This one's May. No,
don't know.
No, we don't.
This one is
Anyway.
OSHA.
OSHA, okay.
This is a lie. He's lying. She's a child. I think did she just ask him if all Jedi have lightsabers, and he says after much training.
Yes.
It's like I'm thinking back to I don't know Attack of the Clones when all the small children are waving lightsabers around because they already have them because that's how they train. Have these people not watched Star Wars? What a stupid question. Of course they haven't.
I don't want to watch Star Wars.
And Ray in the sequels either by saying that.
I don't watch Star Wars.
We've got it's been a busy night in the old super chats. Mr. Brown, he's going to be like Count Duckula. He's going to be swimming in his pound notes tonight. But here's one
Scrooge,
from
you're confusing Count
Scrooge
Duckula with
McDuck.
Scrooge
Fucking ducks, who gives a shit? Brian, do this for me, Brian. Count Duckula.
Mega Spidey Man for €5, just in time for the holidays. Anakin. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Leslie, yeah, you have a good point. Please tell me more.
We've got some others. Geordie, could you take this one on from our old mate Melvin?
I'm trying to write an advert here. Melvin, for £2 and a wrench, we have ways of making you queef.
Nice. And go on, Mega Geek, do an eye test for us. Go on, you can do this one.
Garth Knight wrench for what's this dollars $4.99.
Yeah.
Hot take. I prefer Soul as Mace Windu.
Wow. Okay. And Echo, here's one for you.
Yeah, I did like this one from earlier, actually. Khalid Sawar for $4.99. Soul looks like Paul McCartney fooked Yoko and split up the Beatles. So it's nice. It's concise. It's good.
Very good. Brownie, sort out those super chats if you would, my old mate, and work out what we've got left to do. Because by God, they're coming in thick and fast, like lesbians in a Leslie Headland Star Wars series. Anyway, back to
Well, the one white male here, they sure didn't hold back on making him a paragon of masculinity.
I know, everybody knows that.
Yeah, he's well, is he twink territory, Plutes? What would you say? He's ticks a lot of boxes, doesn't he?
I guess he's probably the closest you'll get in this show. It's between him and the Wookiee.
Well, the Wookiee's almost a literal bear, so
yeah, literal bear. Oh God, this is fun. It's he without permission. The horrible white guy takes her blood. That's slightly disturbing, isn't it? I guess
Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing the old midichlorian check, isn't he? And he might as well do a prostate check while he's at it. You can do that as well, couldn't you? At the same time. Let's not go there, folks. Okay, this to me seemed utterly fucking ridiculous, but don't take my word for it. Let's bring Swappers in. Swappers, what? This is just, what the fuck's going on here, Swappers? Please make sense of this.
They're doing the test that Bill Murray does in Ghostbusters.
That's what I was going to say. Yes, the same test. They also test Anakin in this way, to be fair to Star Wars, but yeah, it is that test.
And she's deliberately trying to fuck it up. And in fucking it up, she fucks up the fucking up. And fucks up the plan that her parent witches told her to fuck up in the first place.
What is this, though? This is not a rabbit. I don't know what the hell. What is it?
It's a Downs cat.
It's a Downs cat. It's in the description. It's, that's now canon. Thanks, Disney. Well done. Well done, Brownie. By the way, he's tooling with us, is Mr. Brown. Well done. Chatter, absolutely.
A Downs cat taking a shit. She could have got extra points.
Kudos to Brown. He's in the back working his arse off, and the chat loving that one. Well done, Brown. But Sol is not falling for it, is he? He's effectively just tricking her.
Is that
Tooling?
I think so.
Cloud City.
Is Cloud City that old? I mean, we're 75 years before Phantom Menace. Like, the impression I always got from Empire is that it's a relatively new thing, but I guess it was made back then.
No, it won't be. Stupid destroying the law of Star Wars.
So these two girls are too old to join the Jedi Order anyway, right?
Well, Luke was too old to learn to do the training, but he did it anyway. So
yeah, but
Anakin was too old.
That was God knows how many years afterwards, and Luke was kind of the only one, so they were desperate. But these two girls should be. This is a time when kids are being recruited left, right, and center, like around the age of 3 or 2 or whatever it is. And these are like 8, 9 years old, 10 maybe. That's way too old. That's older than Anakin was. So I don't know what the logic is behind this. Maybe they find out, we should stop recruiting kids that are so old because they're all fucking everything up all the time. So
they are deliberately bending their own rules out of shape in order to get these two. So they know there is something incredibly special about these two in particular, to the extent that they are actually bending this test rule even to get them through it. She's lying, and he is going along with it because no matter what, they will have these girls in the Jedi Order. So there is something about them they are here specifically to get. We just don't know what that is yet. It will go wrong. But then also at the same time, they're so special. But then when Osha flunks out of the Jedi Academy later, they don't care. So I don't really know.
Maybe it's just that one that they think is special. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're I don't know. It's such a stupid story. Just
God, he really does look like Paul McCartney. Fuck
does, yeah, a bit. Yeah.
Carrie Ann Moss's character, I forget her name because it's forgettable. But she's got, in the first episode, she had like 2 beads on the side of her head next to her eye. Now she's got 1 in this. Is that some kind of ranking system, like they do in Star Trek Next Generation with the pips on the collar?
Don't know.
It's deep.
Or is it like a bit of those little things that kids stick on their face with glitter, and one just haphazardly fell off?
So has he undergone Mega Geekle now? He's in the business. Has he undergone some de-aging here, or is it just good makeup and a different haircut?
No, I reckon there's a bit of de-aging happening
Mm.
there. Obviously, the oldest trick in the book when you try to make someone look young is to give them a fringe for some reason. Hollywood thinks that makes them look young, but it really doesn't. But yeah, I think he's got a bit of de-aging, and also Carrie-Anne Moss has got a bit of de-aging as well. It's funny because they always clean up their face, but they never clean up their neck, because you can always tell when they're old when there's two strains on their neck, and but they never clean that up for some reason. I don't know why.
Harrow, Harrow, you say goodbye, and I say hello.
Okay, go on. We've got to that point in the night. We're taking either alternative names for Sol in this getup, or songs that Sol might sing in the style of the Beatles, maybe. Obviously, Chaos Donut is ahead of the curve. He says Paul McClunky. But let's see what else you come up with. Oh, come on, people. There's one for your football fans. Brian might like this one. Sol looks like he plays up front for Tottenham.
He does. Fuck me, it's the same haircut.
Dog with a bad dog with bad credit says he looks like McCartney Yoko hybrid. Wow, that would be confusing for John Lennon, wouldn't it?
It's creepy about them chasing someone who they think has the Force strong in them. Isn't it their choice to want to join the Jedi Order?
And this it basically says you need parental consent.
A couple of crackers here. SMJ32 says Rubber Soul. Oh, very good. And I do like this one from Dave. Dave's still with us, folks. Why don't you do this for us, Brian?
Dave L. Oh no, I'm not fucking doing that. I'm not getting cancelled. You bastard, set me up again.
Go on then, Swappers. You don't give a shit. Go on.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be.
I'll get fucking hate crimed out of my house for that.
Oh god. Brownie wants everyone to smash the button, help a fella out. There we go. We've got try this one instead, Brian. A little more subtle.
No, fuck off. The stormtroopers of the SNP at my door.
That's hilarious.
Oh god. Princess Fiona in the chat says Ruin could make an orgasm scene like it's going on too long. It's okay, folks. We're getting near the halfway mark. Stick with us. So she does want to be a Jedi, though, doesn't she?
She wants to be a Jedi, but she doesn't even know. I mean, how does she learn about the Jedi? Oh, sorry, we asked that question.
Seems to
before,
come out of nowhere, doesn't it?
Sorry. I might bring it up again.
Um,
It's only a huge hole in the plot, isn't it? So there you go.
Come on, Brian, do this one instead from Princess Fiona. You know you can rely on Princess Fiona.
I'll be after tonight's abuse. I'll be fucked if I'm reading one of Princess Fiona's chats again.
All right. Oh God, there seems like there's a backstory there we want to get into. Go on then, Swappers. You don't give a shit.
I am the walrus.
Okay, we got Lemon Inspector thinks that's a Nemoidian accent.
I think it is.
I think I got one, Roo. You never give me your younglings.
Oh wow! Well, Echo, while we've got you in a singing frame of mind, could you? Oh, can we do this one by Jay Goodwin?
Oh, live and let die.
And I know Chordy won't sing, but he'll absolutely read it. Here's one from Side of It for you, Chordy.
The Wong and Winding Word.
Oh God, okay, but not doing it. But Brown's losing his absolute shit in the back. He was having a great night until this kicked in. Pensive music. What would be some pensive music? Oh,
Sounds like you're having a shit.
I am.
I said we wouldn't do any more, but Carlos has come up with Yaros.
Oh my god! You're definitely gonna get
Uh,
cancelled for this.
Yeah, sorry, Brown. It was all going so well. It was all going so well. Okay, let's move it on. Ominous music. There's lots of different styles of music in this episode. So, the sisters reunite. Kelnacker is finished
Pissing
having
this
a
time.
shite. Oh, he's pissing now. He's topping up the Jedi wine.
I genuinely laughed at this.
Cool.
It made me laugh, everybody.
And this isn't one of your subtitles, is it, Brown? This
No.
is a genuine one. Yeah.
No.
Whoever was doing the uneasy music, it did sound a bit theremin-y like. Well done, Wayfarer.
He looks like Billy Connolly after a heavy session, doesn't he?
It does actually, yeah. And here we go. Spooky. Oh, so okay, so they return to the lesbian witch temple, and we found out that
She told the truth.
she told the truth. She didn't lie. So yeah. And what's going on now, Mega Geek? So where are we?
Well, they just came off the ship, and she's like saying, "I want to be a Jedi." Blah blah blah, and they're not happy. And then it all leads up to big fire climax.
The
Basically.
momentum of the show is so off. Like, you have this huge climax of the confrontation, and that would seem like the climax of the show, but then you get into this terrible, banal lull of just nothing happening and stupid shit. And so the rhythm is way off in terms of the momentum and development of the episode. It sucks.
Again, right, it's very simple to make Star Wars, enjoyable Star Wars, but everyone since the movies have literally let us down, and I include Andor in that one. So seriously, nothing's been Star Wars so far since the original.
Can't resist this one from the Lotrons, who says, "Mama just killed a Jedi, put a lesbian against his head, pulled his thread, and now he's dead." Very good. So she really does want to be a Jedi, it seems. Okay. And just remind me, and I'm not taking the piss, and I am half cut, but which one turns out to be the evil twin who goes on a murderous rampage? May, which is the one on the left, the Jedi.
Oh, the one on the right.
Oh. So not the one Soul trains to be a Jedi.
Who cares?
The other one. Oh, okay.
That must be about 3 drinks there, surely.
God. Anymore, I'll end up an A&E at this rate. So she wants to be a Jedi. She wants to see the galaxy, shoot some womp rats. She doesn't want to be a witch. Oh God, it's bad news for Team Lesbian. And they kick off, don't they? They fight. Oh no. That's all falling apart. Are we back into Queen again? What's going on here?
I don't care.
It's
How come they don't feel any maternal connection to the woman who actually gave birth to them?
Because it's bad. It's bad writing, isn't it? The whole thing is just. I just can't be asked with this nonsense. Really can't.
She's giving it a choice. If you want to pull it through.
Can 5 minutes ago to the Jedi, she was saying, she's just a child. She doesn't have agency. She can't make these kind of decisions. You can't take her. And then now she's saying, you have agency. It's your choice. How do you want to live your life? It's just all over the place.
I don't get the thread thing, if I'm honest. But she wants to be a Jedi, so we're all good. Gentle music. Anyone got a suggestion? What gentle music? Bit of, maybe some peaceful Irish folk music, maybe. I don't know, something like that. So the witches are going to discuss the situation,
Yeah.
and
I'm
she
the
still
mother
looks-
of this clan, and I make all the decisions, but I also have to discuss it with all the sisters so we can come to a consensus.
And we have some sentimental music playing. Now, what is this? Because this plays an important part in the finale of this
That
episode.
is a highly flammable piece of paper.
Does it? Yeah, good point. Does it represent anything? Does it mean anything, or is it just a bit of a MacGuffin?
Also, what's really made me laugh is that she takes that thing off the wall, and it looks. I don't know what it is. It a candle? I don't know what it was. It looked like a candle, a science fiction candle or something like. And then she burns the book with that. I'm like, well, why are they? I give up. I really do. Just why have that?
So one sister wants to go, the other won't let her go. They get into yet another argument. They've had about 15 arguments in the space of 40 minutes. It's like having the kids at summer holidays, this, isn't it?
You can't stop me. I'll kill you.
She threatens to kill her. Jesus Christ,
know.
it gets dark very quickly.
It's like, where did this come from?
I know. I know.
Why, if you're so
Suddenly-
keen on her staying, killing her isn't going to make that any better. You're going to send her away forever if you do that.
Of course, their
Yeah.
explanation for that is they're only kids. You know, so
Yeah, that's a good excuse. Yeah, arson. They're only kids.
yeah, exactly.
I just did some very peculiar research because I wanted to know what the female equivalent of a lemon party is. And according to the Urban Dictionary, it's called a crumpet party. So I think there's a lot of crumpet partying must go on this planet.
Well, she does threaten to kill her, and she's being serious because she then proceeds to attempt to do just that. So as Plutz was saying, she locks her in, and then, well, Plutz, you give us the full explanation here. She effectively burns the entire fucking planet down or something, doesn't she? Just what exactly goes
Bill
on here?
Platoon's trying to write an ad. Do you know?
Oh,
what
is
I mean? Leave him
We've
alone.
got so much work to do. We're still fucking going.
Oh, we're nearly there. We're nearly there.
She sets fire to the notebook. She drops the notebook. Somehow the notebook sets fire to stone.
What is this?
However, it's not quite that simple because, again, I'm pretty sure that the notebook does not set fire to the power generator and burn the entire temple down. So it seems like two things are happening at the same time. That notebook is going off at the same time as the Jedi are doing something. But the upshot is that the entire thing catches fire. The whole temple catches fire. And Osha has to somehow develop instantly mechanical skills to be able to unscrew things and wire doors and shit, which I don't know why she knows how to do that, in order to escape.
Yep.
We're getting lots of song submissions here. Frank Walker. Son Dong is back. Am I saying his name right? Son Dong. It seems to me you live your life like a queen in the wind, never knowing where to blow to when Liam's doing walks in.
So he messed up Queen, which is supposed to be Queef, and he's supposed to do Dong, which came out as Doing. Otherwise, it was a masterpiece.
I'm sure it's not his first language. Let's not be too harsh on the guy. So here we go. The door immediately catches fire in the most lethal of ways, and then, well, who said it earlier? It's like R2D2's glory hole. This, isn't it? And that's going to be her exit. Oh God, it gets hot rather quickly, doesn't it? So what's she doing here? Is she picking a lock? Is she putting a code in? God knows what. Doesn't make any sense at all, does it?
Well, young Nina Cherry is attempting to escape just by pulling the thing off the wall.
See, you know, when you can't find a car for the keys in movies, you just pull the steering wheel off and you get some wires, and suddenly it starts up. So that's what she did to the door, isn't she? So, yeah.
This is what I don't. This is what I couldn't understand in this episode. Right? Is you've got light installations that are like what gas fire things, right? Like
yeah, that's what I don't understand. Yeah,
so you've got open flame technology, and you have no fire suppressant system built into this place.
It would have been slightly amusing if, like, she said, "I think I got it. I think I got it," and then a second layer of door goes over the thing. That would have been cool.
Lemon Inspector giving Nissan Dong a bit of stick there in the chat. He says, "How the hell did you misspell Dong? You had one job." Brilliant. Anyway, the exciting scene continues while we continue to take the piss. There we go. She cracks it. She opens the, oh my God, look at this. The whole room's gone up. Did I miss something? I watched it twice. Is there an explanation for why everything catches fire so quickly and so easily?
There's obviously something happened while she was down there, as Platoon said, because you have that big thing, that big floating thing in it, that if you blow that up, it'll cause a lot of damage. So that's what's happened. So I don't know what's going on.
Because the plot needed it to happen, possibly.
Yeah.
It's okay, Nissan, you're okay, mate.
But like, they just needed to have show some tapestries or wall hangings catching fire, just anything for continuity's sake. They couldn't even manage that.
And they go past everybody dead, don't they? And it's like, what? How did they die? They're not burnt or anything. They're just
so we have to focus here. We have to focus here because this is important. Like, what's going on here? Who's culpable? Do the Jedi have anything to do with this? So we have to pay attention. So what's happened to this reactor? Has the reactor just overloaded because of the heat and explosions?
Don't know.
No explanation given. But is this Sol turns up, doesn't he? Rather conveniently.
Yeah.
And
very conveniently. How do they know? Unless there is something going on in the background where they have been sabotaging it. But are they that clever to write that?
No, they saw a fire from a long distance away, and they thought there's an emergency. Let's see if we can help.
MJ offers an explanation. He says, "This is the last time we paint the room in gasoline," which is a better explanation than the actual series offers. And the Wayfarer suggests that queef gas is flammable, so that's the problem.
That's it.
Is this the split bridge or whatever it was called earlier on? What was
Pepper?
Oh God. Mama's dead. Oh no.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which mama?
You're gonna have to narrow it down a bit.
Yeah, exactly. The one with the spiky head or the black woman?
I think they refer to one mother as Mother Coral and the other one just Mama.
Amber Sidaway's just picking up. Let's just skip back to it on the subtle imagery to show their fractured relationship.
Yeah, I know. Stupid, isn't it?
Fucking spoon feeding. Stupid. Oh, the shills will be loving this, won't they? Visually stunning, they'll say.
When I saw this scene, I just thought, I was looking at the set and how elaborate it is and how high it is. And I was just thinking, like, the amount of people, the amount of money and time that's been spent on building all of this. And these people slaving away with carpenter's tools and things like that for days and days and days on end. They must be sitting there chatting to each other with the radio playing and stuff. And they must just like stop every so often and look at each other and just go, all this work for that fucking shite. Seriously. Leslie Headland's not got a fucking clue, and we're putting all our effort into this. This is going to be bollocks. So carry on, mate. Just carry on. Don't think about it.
Money, isn't it? Yeah, just think of the money. Yeah, just carry on. Just think of the money. That's what it is.
They just bring people in, they pay them, and they just build whatever. But you just think the amount of money that's been put into it, and it's just dog shite. Absolute dog shite.
Whoever gave the light to the script should be shot. Sorry, go on.
So many talented people that are involved with the concept art. Even you think of the collectibles like Hot Toys and that, making these figures, and the stories are just absolute bollocks.
I like the Lemon Inspector's observation that he observed that the lesbian commune is the only place in Star Wars with railings. And it's breaking canon once again, folks.
Railings? He's forgetting Empire Strikes Back.
Oh.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back has railings.
I've not seen that one. I must watch that. So shit's going down, the bridge snaps, and one of the twins, I've lost track of which is which, and
May,
souls.
isn't it May that dies?
May, yep.
Do they
Very true.
want us to be confused here with who's who?
Well, they might do the swapperoonie at the end and think they're clever by it turns out that Osha is not Osha, she's really May, and and that kind of thing. I don't know.
Or she's just one person.
Maybe like
Some
in
weird
Fight
shit.
Club. Fight Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garth, don't die in that hill.
Rum normally does it for me, but I'll have a pint of whatever Garth Knight's drinking because he's determined to get these girls over as class actresses. I don't know, Garth. I think you're onto a hiding to nothing there, my friend. Here's the
Okay,
scene, Mega, you were talking
right.
about.
All right. So how could this have happened? Like the Jedi could not have swooped in and done this. There's no way.
There's only 4 of them anyway, as well, and they've got the thread versus the Force. So I don't understand. If it probably will turn out that the Jedi killed them all, which makes the Jedi the bad guys, which is what that's their MO. That's Disney's MO to do what was all the good guys, make them bad.
I just took it.
Go on.
After
When
you.
you go, please.
No, after you.
Cheers. I just took it that it was the explosion that had killed them.
Yeah. it would
Yeah,
make
but they'd
sense.
be on fire, wouldn't they not? If it was the
Ah,
explosion.
it's fucking Disney, though. You lower your expectations.
Well, if it's a reactor, it's like an energy explosion or something like that. Some sort of Chernobyl type shit happened.
Yeah.
But there is no reason for. I've said it before, but I'll say again. There is no reason for Tommen to say we thought what we were doing was right and then kill himself if it was just May setting a piece of paper on fire and accidentally destroying the entire temple. There's no involvement in the Jedi. The Jedi have to be involved in some nefarious way in order to justify May saying you attack unarmed people, Tommen killing himself out of guilt, and the quite sort of sinister undertones we're getting for the rest of it. They have to have done something. Whether they killed them directly or did something else like sabotaging the generator, I don't know. But I'm sure
Well, I
they're
think-
involved in some way.
I think he's just taking the perspective that, we shouldn't have meddled in this independent sect that was doing their own thing. We had no business, and we set off a chain reaction of events that led to mass deaths. I think that's what they're going for.
This
but
line,
Why? Sorry, go ahead.
this line that just zapped by the previous one. Why the fuck is he telling her that May started a fire?
He wasn't even there.
He didn't.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
he wasn't even there.
Also, I mean, just by the by, anyone remember how in episode 1, when the woman falls off the balcony and Trinity suspends her with the Force, and when May falls over in episode 2, and he says, "Oh no!" Also, like when Osha falls off the cliff and he's suspended with the Force, and May falls over in episode 2 and he's suspended with the Force, and yet May falls down the hole, and she almost falls down the hole, but there's no Force. The Force can't suspend the kids then because if they did that, everything would be broken.
I'm thinking he said May started the fire because of incompetent writing and they didn't think it through. So I'm still on Team Jedi, and I think this whole narrative is basically wound down. But we've got 3 or 4 episodes left, so there's got to be some mystery to unravel.
Ooh, well, faith in Headland. That's the hashtag doing the rounds. What are we down to on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes now? I think IMDb's in the low 4s. I think about 4.2, 4.3, and Rotten Tomatoes is about 24%.
They can't have killed everyone just to get Osha. I mean, Osha must be really special for them to kill people and.
But that's what they're sort of building up because of the way she was born. The fact that they've used the Force to impregnate a lesbian and it's given birth to Force twins. Like there's something particularly bad and scary to the Jedi about that prospect, which is why they went all the way out there specifically to pick up these 2 kids, even though they are breaking all the rules about age for Padawans and things in order to get them. So they are building up how special they are. Like my guess would be, yes, the Jedi are involved in some way and probably directly in killing people. They went to pick them up because they wanted to get the power that the twins have and to stop anybody else misusing it. They never bothered checking if May was alive, even though she fell down a hole, and everyone in Star Wars survives that. And we haven't actually confirmed that the mother is dead. So I would not be at all surprised to learn that actually Smilo Ren at the end of episode 1 is actually the mother and is wearing a mask to hide the fact and using a voice changer to hide the fact that, she would be horrifically burned and everything, but actually is still there.
Mm.
Good ideas.
Well, folks, we got through it. We made it. We made it to the end. And
Directed
you
by
will
who?
notice not Leslie Headland. They're directed by King
What?
Gonganada.
Wait, Mark.
Ogonada.
So does someone want to Google whoever the fuck this is and tell me
Leslie.
what fine curriculum vitae they have to take on such a task of directing a 180 million pound Star Wars show? So anyone in the chat, any of my retrobates, who is this person? I don't even know what gender they are or species they are. I don't know what's going on. But surely they must have a wealth of fabulous films and TV shows and apparently a Bond henchman. I don't know. Oh, Earth Knight says producer on Rebecca Gold. No way that would happen.
I forgot. I'll remember to put that in the credits.
Common People says it's one of Swapper's fake accounts. Frank Waller says Konganada versus Godzilla.
Konganada.
So I think we've got a serious answer from MJ UK 84, a South Korean director who's done 3 movies.
Let's tick those boxes, I guess.
And then, Brownie, you absolutely one fucking job, Brown. There was one more slide, the written by slide, because this episode was not written by Leslie Headland.
Was it written by a 5-year-old by any chance?
Well, it was written by 2 females. That's all I do remember. Neither of which had any particular notable credits on in work they've done previously. So funny because it doesn't show at all, does it? Well, look, folks, we got there.
I googled the writers, by the way. I just found a Games Radar article titled "The Acolyte has a writer that has never seen Star Wars. Here's how they made the show even better in Episode 3." What?
Oh, good God!
2 people wrote this, and there were 2 females that wrote it.
Yeah, they were the one that Leslie Headland brought on board specifically because she had no knowledge of the lore. She recounted in a conversation that I met Leslie, and she asked me, "What do I know about Star Wars?" And I said, "It's the one where Harrison Ford walks around with a huge dog, right?" Laughter, laughter. So that was her approach.
Wow. Okay, folks. Well, look, we've had a long one, so let's wrap this shit up so we can get to bed and get excited for next week's Acolytes. Echo, let's start with you, my friend. Give me your closing thoughts, and of course, your score and chat. You're not finished your shift just yet, so let's have your score for this episode, if you would. Brownie, get them rolling in, if you would. Echo, take it away.
What absolute slogfest. Like I said when I was watching this last night, I could only watch in 5-minute increments because it was so frustrating and banal, so terribly written, so absolutely at the level of Z-grade fan fiction. Diabolical in its lack of relief from the appalling dialogue, the twee and cloying bad child actors who had to carry the whole episode. And you just had this terrible sense of this being emotionally important to a writer, but that writer not having the talent or expertise to be able to convey that. So the whole thing becomes overweening and overwrought and horrible for the viewer to watch because it doesn't mean anything to them because it's so poorly rendered on the screen. So my detestation for this episode knows no bounds, and it might be one of the worst things I've ever seen. Apart from that, it was good.
Okay. Have you got a score for me, Echo?
It has to be a 1. There's nothing redeeming about it. There's nothing good in this episode.
And it's not a Mr. Brown 1, it's just a genuine 1. Okay. Swappers, talk to me. What's your thoughts? What's your score?
After everything I heard about this a week ago, I was expecting a monumental shit show on the proportions of Batwoman or whatever it was that came out that was just laughably bad in every respect. I didn't think this was as bad. I was expecting it to be a lot worse than it was. Not that it's good by any measure, but I was expecting it to completely destroy absolutely everything and turn people off, and so people will never ever come back. And no doubt it's probably had that effect for a few people, but I still think there's a lot of people out there that are going to want to see this through to the end, as masochistic as it may be. And it did a lot of damage to the brand, but then so did everything else Disney have released after Rogue One. And Kathleen Kennedy loves it, so we're just going to see more of it, unfortunately. I've checked out of Star Wars. Ahsoka was the last thing I could possibly ever attempt to take seriously. Everything since then has just been laughable, and I kind of look at it and just go, this is a bunch of little kids playing with George Lucas's toys. They can't do anything even close to what he's done with it whatsoever, and it's just a joke. It's just something to be laughed at. And they prove us right every week. And this latest episode was, again, a third episode of tedium. It didn't engage in any particular way. Even the bits where there should be stakes, like the fire and things happening and death and whatever, you just didn't feel anything. You don't feel anything for the characters. You don't feel attachments to anybody. Even Sol, who's the only so likable character in the whole thing, it's just so unbelievably bland, which is its worst crime, because you simply do not care. And people that don't care are not going to keep tuning back in to watch this. They're just going to go and watch something else instead, like House of the Dragon, whatever, that's genuinely more engaging. Kids aren't going to enjoy watching this because, again, it's boring. If I was 10 years old and I was watching this, when Return of the Jedi was out, I'd watch this and go, what the fuck? What? This isn't Star Wars. And then I'd look at my Star Wars toys and go, where's all the explosions? Where's all the ships? Where's all the excitement? Where's the swashbuckling? Where's all the cool action? Where's all the fighting and the dueling and all? It's just nothing. It's just some women in cloaks moaning on screen for half an hour. No one's got to be interested in this. There's going to be toys on the shelf that people aren't going to be buying because no one gives a damn. Dollar stores full of this shit, and they just keep pushing it out there because of BlackRock funds. So, it's just a load of garbage. And it's just going to be the same thing for the rest of the season. Nothing is going to engage us. And even the final episode, when this big reveal is going to happen, or everything's going to be completely sold to us as like, this is what's really going on. None of us are just going to go, we're just going to sit there and heads resting on our hands and just go, yeah, so what? That's how it's going to end. So this is a 2 out of 10 for me. One for the effort the production team have put in, which has been squandered, and one for the soundtrack. That's it.
Okay, fair do. Swappers. Passionate there. I love the passion. Brian, let's go to you. What's your closing thoughts and score?
Swappers is fucking brilliant when he wakes up, isn't he?
Oh, wow, yeah. When he finally that Red Bull kicks in, he's something else. Yeah.
Yeah, peaks quite late. Probably the same as Swappers and most of the things that you said, but I would say that it was bad. But as I think I said on Twitter, it's not Jimmy Savile bad. It's more of a kind of Hugh Edwards plus Philip Schofield bad. I still think I think the story concept from the off has some merit, but the narrative framing, the execution, the dialogue are all quite horrendously poor. The two leads are likeable. There's a bit of cleavage occasionally. I don't hate it, but I think that's probably because I'm really past caring at this point more than anything else. As for this episode specifically, I still think the entire thing could have been covered in a quick flashback. I'm going to give it a very charitable 3 out of 10.
Ooh, wow, that is charitable.
So you're basically saying sort of Rolf Harris bad.
Oh.
Do you know, you've said that just exactly the same time as Khalid Sarwar has written the very same thing.
And the Floatrons, we're just becoming one big lesbian hive mind here on the Brown Alliance, aren't we? It's, yes, toxic. Mega Geek, we twisted your arm into doing this. We got you to episode 3. What do you think?
It's probably one of the worst bits of TV I've ever seen. Ever since I've been watching TV, it's really inept. The script's terrible. The performances are awful. The logic, there isn't any logic in this. The last 3 episodes I saw, it's. I mean, the effects are good. It's laughable. So I don't really want to watch any more of this shit because it really is absolute bollocks, isn't it? Let's face it. And in fact, I don't even understand why people want to watch it. I understand people watch it because they want to do a live stream on it and talk shit about it and stuff like that. But I'm just like Brian, right? Star Wars is dead. It's been dead ever since Disney took over. There's nothing anyone could say to me to convince me that Star Wars is still alive. It's not. It's dead. It's dead as Doctor Who, right? And all they're doing is they're basically tick boxing the agenda and sticking a lot of gay stuff in our entertainment. And quite frankly, I'm getting really tired of it. So I don't really. So, in other words, it's not even a 1. It's a minus 1. Not even a -1. Let's go further back. A -100. It's absolute rubbish. There you go. That's me. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, mate. Geek. See you next week. Anyway, we're looking for.
You've been lucky, mate.
Okay, and to take us home, it's our favourite twink, Ploots. I hope you've managed to do your adverts. But let's just get your closing thoughts, Ploots, on what was a momentous episode in the history of Star Wars.
Yeah, probably built up, I think, to be more than it really was, but that was because I think everyone was expecting it to go full 9,000% gay, which it didn't really do. But it is monumentally incompetent in every other respect. So bad for reasons that people weren't necessarily looking for, but still bad. So 2 out of 10, I'd say, for this one.
A 2, okay. Yeah, I'm generally with the group. I'm with the chat. I'll give it a 1. I was going to go 0, but I'll give it a 1 just for the fabulous lesbian dance scene in the middle there. That really, really got my juices flowing. But other than that, no, absolute tosh. There we go. Now we do have, wow, what a generous stream this has been for Super Chats. So before we wrap up, if we could get through some of our Super Chats, which have been backed up, and I'll ask my retrobates to help me out on this. So here we go. Brownie's going to rattle them all out. Brian, if you take this one.
Obi-Wan Darkside for €5 says, all of this could have been prevented if someone had taken a small dagger to Leslie Headland's ideas board instead of Jedi Trinity. How very true.
True. Go on, Swappers, if you have this one.
Right, for $4.99. OSHA's Writings.
Oh, Brownie, one fucking job, Brown. There we go. This one instead, Swappers.
For the same amount, if a handsome Korean man in a robe came to take my child as a Padawan learner, I'd let him.
Tad of the year, the Girth Knight. Yes. Echo, could you take this one?
Eric Newcomer for $1.99. This story belongs in Rebel Moon lore instead.
Oh,
totally agree.
I like how Eric. Could we go back to Eric briefly, Brownie? He's taking a selfie with Liam Neeson's dong in the background. Did you see that? That's okay. Okay, don't worry, Brown. I'll save it till next week. Mega, how are your eyes doing at this point?
What's that? Obi-Wan Darkside, is it? Is that euros? €2. Just to give away the kid. Just to give away your kid. I'm sorry, I can't even see. Just to give away the kid you like the least.
I thought
someone who reads super chats more ponderously than Brown. That's amazing.
Well, it's because I haven't got my glasses.
I thought Mega Geek was going all Italian on us there, just to give away the kid you like the least. What else we got, Brownie? I'll take this one. My old mate Girth Knight. Okay, is the character in the mask on the coastline Plagueis's master? Ooh, we're talking about the guy from episode 1, aren't we? Who lit up the red lightsaber. Well, it maybe will keep us coming back next week, or maybe it won't. Back to you, Ploots.
Edward Senior ? For $5. How do you intentionally fail a blood test? Good question.
Good question.
Brownie, why don't you get your old creaky arse on here and help us out with some of these? Go on, Brian.
Khalid Sawar for Poon 99 says, taking comfort that we wouldn't have these epically entertaining roasts if new Star Wars wasn't so shit. Great work, guys.
Great walk, guys. Are you with us, Brown?
Yes.
Yeah, go on,
Duke 84 wrenched for $2 Canadian. Need women in STEM to learn how to make buildings.
Ooh, the STEM is what? Science, technology, engineering, maths, something like that, isn't
Oh,
it?
is that what it is?
Something like that, yeah.
Science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
God, I wish you
Yeah,
guys would
there we
hurry
go.
up. I'm so tired.
Yeah, busting for the clutchy.
Okay, apologies to all the people who paid good money to get your super chats on screen. Wayland Persephus, let's be honest here, Star Wars is muerta. I don't know the translation, but I'm sure it's not good.
Dead.
Oh, there we go. What else we got? Go on, swappers.
Tough night again for another $5. If the Jedi end up killing all these folks, I'll still watch breakdowns of future Star Wars nonsense on this channel.
It's very generous of you. Done it, Brown.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Oh no, we haven't done that one.
No.
It was just it was just another one starting with "Let's be honest." Well, I'll finish off. Wayland Persephus for $1.99. Wrenched. Let's be honest. It's a bucket of pure bucket of AIDS. Ooh, la, la, la. Go on, Brown.
Common people wrenched £5 real money, folks. Looks like Sol got into one of the telepods in The Fly with KK.
Oh, there's an old reference for you. Yeah.
Brian?
Kevo for $2 says, whenever that Jedi comes around. No, fucking hell. I'm Hamza about my door for that one.
God.
Oh, God.
Ian, are you available, please?
Well, common people for £2. Mega Geek is the best blind director in the world.
Very good.
Echo?
Lord Wahoo for $5. For Platoon's video, if you want name puns, call May random months and call OSHA random government bureaus. June and IRS, for example.
It took me long enough to actually get Occupational Safety and Health Administration into my head, so it rolls off my tongue, so it's not changing.
Ruin, I think this one's you, mate.
Oh, well, yes. If anyone's a dickhead, I am. Girth Knight says, you dickheads are the best. Keep rolling, gang. Thanks, Girth.
Coming in at the death, MJ gets 4. Wrenched 2 woke Canadian woke dollars. This super chat is to keep Mega here for longer. Ooh.
Wow.
Brutal.
Did we do this one? I can't remember.
Just did it 2 seconds ago.
Okay. Goldfish memory.
Oh,
okay.
God.
And we will do this one last of all. Princess Fiona for $2. Rest in peace, Clobby. We love you.
Oh, no. Oh, such a shame. Oh.
That was a genuine shocker, folks.
It was.
One of our own.
Okay. Ruin, I think that's it then, mate.
It is, yeah. Well, just want to thank all my fellow retrobates. With like old medieval warriors, we ventured onto the battlefield. We took one hell of a beating, but we just about made it through. So I want to thank all our friends, starting with not Brian Young. Thanks, Brian.
Cheers, Ruin. Thanks also to Plut, Swappers, Echo, Mega, and of course the chat.
Thank you to Swappers for being part of this Les Fest. Thanks, Swappers.
Never miss a Les Fest, I tell you. I will be back next week for more of the shit show. Let's hope that I'm hoping it actually gets worse because it's better for us when it gets worse. So thanks to you, Ruin, for being a great host as usual. Thanks to Brown. Thanks to everybody on the panel. I'm really glad you're all here because it'd be a really depressing show if we didn't get to share it with you guys. Thanks to the chat. You're always amazing, and see you next week.
Big thank you to our man from down under, Echo. Echo, you go and get some breakfast now and some coffee and go take the dog for a walk and all that jizz.
Yeah, well, my displeasure to be on the panel. I think I might have just had my first period whilst watching this show.
Oh, very good. Love having you on, Echo. Mega Geek, can we tempt you into one more episode 4? Is it, apparently there's a mail in next week. A vicious rumor.
I think you've got 2 hopes there. No hope and
Hope
Bobo.
and no hope. Yeah,
The old joke.
Yeah, I do like that joke because it reminds me of my dad. He always rolls that line out. Very good, Mega. But I know, we got you for 3. We count ourselves lucky. And of course, the man with the dulcet tones, Ploots. Thanks very much. Thanks for enduring this with us, Ploots.
Thank you as ever, anytime.
Good man, good man. Brownie, I'll leave it to you to close the shop up. Thanks for having us.
Chats are amazing. Very generous on the super chats. Bit of a long one this evening, folks. I think we finally saw the death, even though it was dead before, the proper death of Star Wars. But there you go. Ruin, top job, mate.
Yeah, we got there, Brownie. I said we would. In the background, Brown was trying to say, we'll keep this going through till Saturday. I was like, no, Brown, we've got to get this wrapped. People will revolt. But we'll be back next week, won't we, Brown? Come rain or shine.
Ooh, it's going to be difficult. But yeah, we're back at the weekend, folks. We're back at the weekend. Hopefully it's getting sunny in the UK. I doubt it. It's been pissing down. But that's it, folks. It's nearly 2:00 here in the UK, so taddy bye, everybody.
Good night, man, babies.
Taddy bye.
May the
Take care.
queef be with you.